Hello and welcome everyone to the official 2025 PUBG Mobile Rondo Royale, the first and beginning point for Rondo in PUBG Mobile. I'm Enigma with the man himself, Mustache Dave. And Mustache Dave, the map's been out for a few days already. We're going to be coming in hot like it is. Have you played the map yet?
Rondo, hey, have I played the map? Listen, I've been
Yeah.
on the map. I've been letting the birds free. All right, I've been doing my part on Rondo. I've been digging holes. I've been living life out here. So I'm looking forward to being here tonight for the first ever Rondo Esports experience to kind of see how these players interact with this new map.
Yeah, and the new map, it's got a lot of new things, right? Weapons, vehicles, you were just talking about it too. The ditch usage you can even be making. Most people don't even know a lot about it, but that's why we're here tonight, right? To see the best of the best in North America be able to show up and really show everything that this map has to offer and be put full on display. But Dave, you and I, we really like to talk about it on who really is going to be competing in a lot of these moments. Let's pull up this team graphic for all of us to see, because there's a lot of names you and I want to talk about here.
Yeah, a lot of names, and I'll let you touch on some of them, of course. But I'm looking at Angels Esports coming off of the Titan Series Women's Division, that first place over there. So I already know they're ready to go, right? It's a pretty decent looking team. In BIS, Burning Silence as well, another heavy hitter. Of course, we see some tried and true names like Dauntless, Inco, Zombie Boy showing up, and Zero Fox Given. That's going to be Bella Fox's org. So I'm really rooting for them here tonight. But I know some of these other teams, you got like firsthand experience competing with some of these big dogs.
Yeah, some of them, obviously J7, Coops and friends, people that I've played with, if not gone against, to say the least. Team Wash, that's going to be Zephon's squad. Everyone's tried and true name for that. And I really enjoyed just seeing a kind of a mixture of all these different kind of groups coming together. We're talking old professional players, current new ones, fully established teams, and obviously the squads from the Titan series really being able to kind of come through and represent themselves on the new map. Because I was seeing a lot of people on the timeline, Dave, posting about Rondo over the last week. Dabs plays especially, he was making the call out saying this feels like 2018, 2019 PUBG Mobile vibes. And I didn't really believe him when I saw it, but when I got up into those higher ranked lobbies, right, it really started to feel that way.
All right, man. No. Okay, we just started. No need to flex, right? No,
you got to be on the map.
Oh man. So yeah, I mean, I also saw Dab Plays post a lot of clips calling out Winsanity as well. So I think they got like a little rivalry going back and forth on Rondo. But it is cool, right, to have a new map come out, and all the content creators are super pumped up and just making content about it every single day. I mean, that hype is definitely there here for the map. So I'm looking forward to kind of seeing how we could interact with like the esports ecosystem. Because really, in my mind, this is like a test run to see how the map performs, and if it goes well, heck, we might throw it right in comp. I'm already sending the email after tonight. So let's get it in comp. I mean, we got rid of Vikendi for a reason. It's because we got that fourth slot for a new map, and Rondo just might be it.
Yeah, and I think for Rondo especially, maybe even if we were to try to just keep it as the 6 matches per day in PMSL Americas, I know Tencent really enjoys that sort of 2-2-2 of the map rotation, 3-2-1. Rondo over Sandhawk is a possibility too, but you and I, we both love Sandhawk. Watch it. The players maybe not so much, but I think that's just one of those things where you gotta learn how to play that map better. You can't be dodging the bullet, beating around the bush. You gotta understand how to play it. And Rondo, especially with it being this 8x8 map, same as Miramar and Erangel, it's gonna be that same level of competition and that sort of competitiveness that you and I always love to see.
Yeah, 8x8, so up to 100 players can compete on Rondo, and it supports 2 weather modes. You got sunny and sunset, of course. So technically still in beta, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like we're talking about, there's a lot of new things that are introduced with this map specifically, and just new quality of life things. So what are you're flexing your ranks up there. What has been like your favorite mechanic or takeaway in Rondo here so far?
Oh, it's definitely going to be the stun gun, which is not going to be what you thought I was going to talk about, but just the amount of fun you can kind of have with it, just being able to mess around and kind of just BM people when it comes to that 4v1 situations. I mean, we're going to be seeing a lot of teams hopefully in the future start to really kind of mess around with that, but you were making note of it. The shovel plays as well, with you being able to even, I believe, use gas cans to make ditches in the fields. I think we're going to be able to see a lot of teams bring back those old sort of 2018 SSG vibes of throw a smoke out, hit the 90-degree on a car wall, and then immediately dig yourself a ditch for that sort of playable cover. Because Rondo itself, yeah, there's a lot of terrain, there's a lot of usage and stuff like that, but for the most part, it's like any other map. You've got to be able to play what's given to you. And luckily now with Rondo, you're able to actually kind of make your own playable positions happen in these sorts of matches.
When there isn't cover, you build your own cover, right? You got that, the pickaxe, you can dig holes, I believe, gas cans, and maybe even grenades in some parts could also kind of, dig a little trench almost. So then I know we got Clint working with us here tonight. Shout out to Clint. But he was mentioning his favorite thing is the concrete barrier, right? That you can kind of call down. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how these players utilize that mechanic in like the late game. You know how typically we're late game, there might be just an open field, maybe on a hill, but how that concrete triangular barrier can come into play with really getting these fights going. So here at the players, we're getting loaded up. We talked about the teams, predictions, man. Let's just go with predictions. I mean, why not? It's tradition around here. So I'm gonna start it off here. I'm gonna go with 0 Fox given. I gotta start the night off strong, representing Bella Fox and her org. What about you?
Well, I mean, you were casting with her and stuff like that, so I can only assume you're going to go with Bella Fox's squad. But for me, it's got to be Team Wash. Zfon, he's the OG. He's got the squad in here. He's got the namesake players next to him, and he's been grinding the map just like every other name we've been getting off to. But we see it on the screen, Dave. The flowers, they're coming down. Match number 1 of Rondo Royale coming our way. And for the most part, the playing path is looking pretty solid for game 1.
Rondo Royale, 2 days, 5 games per day, a total of 10 matches here. $5,000 cash prize is what these players will be competing here tonight and tomorrow night for. So there's a lot of money on the line, but there's going to be a lot of fun here. Enigma, you and I are going to be calling the shots here. 10 games. We're going to be experiencing this for the first time ever. Esports on Rondo.
Everything and anything esports PUBG Mobile is always going to be a sight for me, and especially when it's on the new map so soon from its release. A lot of these players, they're maybe even going to be surprised themselves on what other teams are able to kind of figure out or what they choose to do with the terrain or the POIs. But it always starts with where you kind of drop, and I'm already seeing it kind of all the way in Fongtoon on this far western edge. 2 squads looking like they might be battling it out with each other here. And for the new map, I get it. Not established drop spots just yet for each other, but it's still just going to be that sight to see of, okay, who's going to get the guns? Are we going to maybe rotate away? Are we going to maybe even be able to kind of maybe just disengage and fully pull out of it? But these teams, they're the best in the region, right, Dave? They're going to expect to see them really fight in full force.
Yeah, I'm really hoping the latter half, right? I'm hoping we drop in, we get into those fights. I know there's money on the line, but at the end of the day, like, this is really a true testament to see how this map can perform here in a competitive setting. And we already know that there's been times where we're in world pretty much the last day and teams are still hot dropping each other, right? So I love me a good hot drop, but we're gonna be looking over here. Looks like Liquid, they're gonna be getting 1 elimination right off the rip.
Yeah, Liquid wins. Yeah, it's going to be on the X4 squad, Matic, the likes of them. I believe even actually the Zombie Boys taking some shots down. So these 2 teams battling it out. Actually looks like 2 player eliminations for this team. And these players, I mean, these POIs, this is kind of the interesting thing, right? Is the ranked plays, there's only so little matches that these squads have been able to play on it. It's hard for you to really even know where the prime positions are for some of these POI drops, right? It's only kind of that maybe gut feeling, that experience of maybe elevation or certain kind of buildings on these POIs, but these squads, they're gonna have to, yeah, I mean, just turn tail, not understand rocks and stuff like that. The big thing there. And unfortunately, the zombie boys, your squad, your fan favorite, of course, 2 players early on.
Losing 2 players. Hey, I didn't pick them to win game number 1. That's the thing with the zombie boys. You know, they like to they start slow and then they warm up, and next thing you know, it's game 4, it's game 5, and they're just eating chicken all night long. So zombie boys, get warmed up here, Enigma. I'm not too concerned as we're gonna be looking over here at Liquid, like you said, getting those 2 eliminations right off the rip. It is gonna be good for them. So looking around, so circle is going to be going up there towards the northeast. Test track is right there on the edge of the play zone. That's going to be next gen over there, and well, they're going to have a nice position to call home, really set up one of those points of interest, like you said. But Extreme Slayers, you are familiar with them, right? The Gauntlet winners here, looking to get involved early on.
Yeah, I mean, they had won by essentially the very last game of that event. It came down to a 2-point difference between them and Most Wanted, the team with Coops, Juancho, Valak. So Extreme Slayers are that team that's very active and forthcoming when it comes to taking these early engagements. And unfortunately, looks like Extreme Slayers, I'm not sure if they were the ones that lost casualties early on, but it looks like Team Wash already has 2 eliminations to their name. This is going to be Zefon's squad dropping right next to him. So these teams, it's going to be the same map all 5 matches tonight. So these hot drops, these contests early on, a lot of it didn't matter from this sort of first circle shift we see, right, Dave? It's mostly just the drop themselves that really ultimately had them lose players early on. So I'm interested in seeing kind of, you know, these squads like either Most Wanted or possibly even Money Makers. They were fighting teams early on if they choose to potentially change their drop spots early on.
Team washed. Team washed. I mean, you can't not root for Team washed, right? All right, we're gonna be looking at what is that? The jammer pack, right? The jammer pack, new backpack that you can carry stuff in. I believe it's has the same slots as the backpack. But it also helps you with the blue zone, so now you can kind of camp in the blue for a little longer. But hey, straight out of Nepal, looking to get into a fight over here.
Yeah, full-on 4-man aggression going on in this sort of far southern compound, and they're actually all the way out on the edge of the circle here. I'm not sure, is this actually
looks like
PvE?
Bot
Yeah,
guards. They're
going for the loot
here for the big loot. Interesting to see here. Yeah, I do respect it. Hopefully the loot is going to be worth the squeeze, the juice worth the squeeze, as they say. Got a couple bots up there on the 3rd floor. Frankie with the M4 3 times. Trying to place one extra safe. Imagine getting wiped by bots here. That would just feel, yeah, that would just feel bad.
Well, what was it? Frankie got knocked already, so you're already one of them.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, boy, it is. Don't get thirsted now.
Respect the bots here. First, don't get thirsted by the bots guarding the loot. Yeah, that would just be horrible here, man. Imagine that, the first ever Rondo experience here. We're gonna be watching your team just get destroyed.
One of them already has what is that? Slaughterhouse of a weapon, the 7.62 rounds in it, being able to really kind of come in and clear out the bots a little bit easier. Yeah, they're gonna lose maybe a lot of meds going down to it, but for them, I think the loot's gonna be worth it. And with no one around them, actually, Dave, I think they're about 2,000 or 3,000 meters out in the circle. So as long as none of them get thirsty, they'll be able to drive in pretty scotch-free and be able to kind of walk away with all that loot. Yeah,
I hope it's worth it. Talking about driving free, I saw the Pico bus, the new Rondo 6. Boys looking for a night on town, get the Pico bus. I believe it is eco-friendly too, running on a battery. So there you go.
Hey, I'll take it. Little bus action. Hey, my favorite vehicle was the bus on Miramar. So electric vehicle, that sounds pretty pretty solid to me for the most part.
All right, hey, I got one with your name on it, man. That'll be $250,000. Just PayPal me and I'll have it shipped to you.
You'll make it happen?
I'll make it happen.
Anyone in chat, you sponsor me that, I'll show up on stream. I'll do the casting from the bus itself. Believe it.
Yeah. The reason it's so expensive is because it's a 1 out of 1. It's custom built just for you.
Okay.
So normally they go for about 35 grand. You know, it's very, very friendly. Yeah. But
no, I gotta get the custom.
Gotta get the custom one, man. Custom paint job. All the trimmings here. So it is one of the new vehicles on this map. So going over here, next gen Quan Deadshot. We've seen this player multiple times in a bunch of tournaments here.
Yeah.
Definitely a star player in my opinion. Looking to continue to get some loot over here.
Well,
next gen.
What
that's
kind
team
of
14.
Loot? I kind of wonder what kind of loot these players are really opting to use, because I personally love the JS9 that's on this map.
JS9.
One of the new weapons, I believe it's 9mm and SMG, but
yep.
That weapon, I mean, it feels almost like an M4 in the hands of the right people. The Beam, City, obviously all these players, they're very vested, experienced. They're using the gyro, and they got the sense dialed in with the 3 and the 4X, but that weapon, man, I mean, it just feels like you can absolutely steamroll people, as well as there's a dual wield on this map as well.
Yeah, the dual.
The MP7's coming in hot. I'm wanting to see it all. Put the DBS away, put the M4 away, bring in something new. I want to see it all here.
Yeah, the JS9, 900 rounds per minute. So does 32 damage. Yeah, 9mm submachine gun here. So that thing, I'm surprised you didn't say a squad just full of stun guns though. I felt like that's where you were going.
Well, they might have it still. They might still have it coming in. Maybe the late game, I'm really hoping it's like a 4v2. 4v1 spot, and they all just pull out the stun guns.
Stun it up, baby.
One of them maybe emotes in front of the guy, and then they thirst him.
Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
You know what I want to see? I want to see that. All right, a whole team, end zone, stun guns, but then you also call in the cover, those concrete, you know, cinder blocks, because those can crush people.
Really? I've never tried to hit someone.
Pretty certain. I'm about 99% certain. You know, you and I, we can jump in a match after this. I can really test it out, but pretty sure it can crush and do damage. So let me know in the chat, +1, if you've gotten some eliminations with that cover, the concrete cover.
Listen, there's so little games. We've got to get the help with chat on it, right? I guess that would probably be one of the worst ways to go. I think, you know, the stun gun would be really bad, but I mean, getting smashed by a cinder block just I mean, it's almost out of a Looney Tunes episode, right? Like, instead of an anvil, it's just a flippin', it's a cinder block just falling right on you.
Your favorite show, confirmed.
Yeah. Oh, I grew up on it.
All day,
every day.
All right, looking at the map here, beautiful Rondo Stadium, no longer in play. We're going up there towards the northeast. Next circle will be centering up here just a little bit. J7, actually, team 10, gonna be right there, smack in the middle. They got a nice little split going on here. One of their players in the compound look like they're gonna be grouping up, so a little 2-2 split here very shortly. Really do like their position they're holding down here. You got Big Wang, you got Spec, Havoc, and J7. Talk about these players.
Yeah, I mean, J7, he's been playing competitively with Spec. Gosh, I mean, even at the beginning of PUBG Mobile, they had their split offs a bit, going to XSET and stuff like that, but both those players finding their mark together, coming back into it. And it really just shows, you know, they're going to play their standard way. The new map and stuff like that, they understand they want to play a little bit of a split action, but in terms of split actions, we're going to have to take a quick note on Chase. Moneymakers now, they're getting active onto LV. Fate, Rondo and Baton with a seed swap. Oh my goodness.
Seed swap. Who this?
Liquid Vincier just getting dismantled by Moneymakers. This is going to be all the way on the far west side here, Dave. So both the teams still having to move in, but through the gauntlet, we saw, at least I had seen it, Dave, moneymakers, they love playing this sort of edge style aggression and just taking any initiation possible. It's almost like that Alpha 7 kind of mindset from America's Team Liquid. They're that center spot we can refer maybe to towards J7's team right now, but moneymakers, man, just really trying to find them. They're already at 5 elims in this match.
5 elims. And also, fun fact, there will be a MVP prize at the end of the tournament, so you will be getting some cash money for that as well. So we'll keep looking at that, as I do believe there's only one more zombie, boys. No, there's still two. They're out there living their lives here. But popping back over to J7, looks like we are going to be on the tail end of previous engagement. 2 eliminations going their way. Pretty good stuff here. They're going to be right there on the shoreline, actually. So there's some water out there towards their west, and nice little bridge focal point to their north. So they got a nice little setup, in my opinion, with some good sight lines for now to continue to rack up these eliminations.
Yeah, I think they picked off one of the remaining 2 players of Extreme Slayers, just full committing into the compound. If someone slams, obviously you're going to have to send down and take fights. But it looks like fights are happening all around. Inco Gaming, a little bit of a drive-by bait scenario going on, actually finding another player on top of the mountainside. So just really kind of going full force. And no, Dave, this is your team right here getting this man right now. They're having to kind of just get away scotch-free.
Run!
0 Fox given. I mean, you got to head for the hills at this point.
0 Fox given. As 2 of their players are just going to be ran over right there. Right in front of our faces. My team, they can still come back. They can come back. They got 2 out. That's all you need. All you need is a duo and a dream. Easy chicken. Inco going to be zooming into the zone here with 2 eliminations. Feeling good. They don't even care about the loot. They're going to be in the blue zone here, so really looking forward to seeing how this blue zone backpack jammer, how this kind of plays the effect on how long players decide to kind of play from the blue, right? Because we know in esports players, they're pretty comfortable with the blue. So I'd have to assume like with that backpack, they'll be a little more comfortable. But Dauntless, big chilling over here. We got Bob. Don't mess with the Bob, man. Bob, if there was ever one player that really is like that wild card, like you just never know what he's gonna do, it's Bob.
Yeah, kind of fits his name perfectly, I think. Unfortunately though, Klaus, he's that other namesake player. He's gonna be stopping right now. Here's duo, I think. A bit of a freebie for them, and now moneymakers, they're coming right onto the tail end of it. Dauntless getting just pieced apart on these rotations. Red Ox being able to get that first initial knock. They're not even stopping. They understand they're on the edge. They've got this sort of terrain and hill cover, but you're always up 1 player. Why not look for that next elimination, right?
Why not? Fate doing a great job out here. The whole squad all together. I mean, just dominating. They got one of their players knocked down and out. Looks like Crow will be getting revived right now. Money makers. Neither of us picked this team to come out and be a strong contender here in game number 1. But you love to see it. You love to see a team really come in here and start to dominate. They got 8 eliminations. The whole team's alive and over 1,000 damage already done. But we'll get back to that because we got next gen over here in a little skirmish.
Yeah, I believe they're against Burn and Silence, the other female squad, 2nd place in the female division of Titan Series, taking the full-on fight to them. The problem is, though, Dave, we're talking at stage 3. These squads are going to have other teams looking down into your compounds, into your windows, your backyard, so to speak. So you're going to have to be really careful how you take some of these engagements. And at the moment, it looks like it's a current 3v3 situation in the compound here. Some smokes raining down, some resets trying to come and happen on these sorts of buildings, but you always got to be careful. The weapons, they got to be locked in. You got to be ready to shoot here. You cannot be afraid to take these initiation fights.
Hey, you say the weapons got to be locked in. I got my grenade ready to go. Pin, ready to go. Come through the door. I got you covered out here. As one of their players going to be repping the new ghillie suit too, by the way. Rondo exclusive. This is going to be Burn in Silence, one of the star teams from the Titan Series girls women's division. They were phenomenal over there. Going to be defending this compound right now.
Yeah,
Like they're trying to push up there, but I'm not sure anybody's here. But
yeah,
clearing it out. Clearing it out. I love that they're playing nice and slow and safe.
Yeah, maybe they thought if they were on the balcony or something, maybe. I'd honestly enjoy the utility usage coming out, but really maybe just taking a bit too much time to clear it out. The other thing as well is, you know, depending how many matches you have, you're not going to know the ins and outs of every compound, right? It's going to be rough for you to really kind of be able to digest where these balconies are, where these sort of window angles could possibly shoot you from one building to the next. There's a lot of sight lines that are very foreign to these players. So I think these sort of initial reactions, or I guess instincts that these players have, will really have to come in full force for them. And now we're seeing it. The shots that come in, Burn in Silence. They try to get some nades going down, but almost going down for Taro. Understanding that the situation is dire, but the circle shift comes through, Dave. They're still in the zone here.
Yeah, right there on the edge here. 6 scope. Got the blue zone jammer. Got a nice little angle. No grenades though. No grenades. Does have the level 3 vest to work with. On Deadshot saw lane right here, trying to get the intel through the window. They're really setting up camp here. Guess with the M249. So it looks like both teams are going to be okay for the time being to kind of pump brakes, you know, try to focus on maybe other teams rotating through the area, maybe both, you know, just crossfire them, essentially try to get the elimination. No real need to make the compound push yet, or as long as you have that mutual respect, right? At least for the time being, especially with it being a new match or a new map, game 1. Listen, we're both safe, all right? We're good. Let's just chill for a little bit. We'll fight in a couple minutes, right? I'm all for it.
I think as soon as that circle shift happens, it closes, then you can start. Then you can start looking at each other. But right now, better be safe to start.
Yeah, chilling.
No,
love this bridge.
Getting just beamed on the crossing, but he actually does make it in a surprising way. SON, I believe, got a reset and ultimately not watching the bridge when it needed to be the most. So most wanted, they're starting to get a little active here, and with them having their backs into the circle, now SON's in the meat sandwich.
Oh man, I love me a meat sandwich, and they're gonna be rolling right by, trying to get an alternate angle on this bridge here. Very interesting point of interest. Look right behind them, backfilling is gonna be J7. So we got 3 teams contesting it out right now for this bridge. We're hearing shots ring out in all different types of directions here. Big Wang, some nice shots downrange.
Yeah, big shots going on. That's gonna be on a team watch. That's the defense and the likes of them. But the rest of the team is up towards SRM. They're on that open hillside, and they're not gonna be making it. One player make it none. Through the rock, SON, the 2-man, they're always holding splits like this, Dave. They're making it look easy out here on Rondo.
Making it look easy. Big Wang down and out. Straight on Paul still up and at it. Team washed. All right, respect Chiffon forever. Is done and dusted with 7 eliminations for the squad. Chiffon alive. YT gonna be over here doing some scouting. Got the smoke right now, right on that soft cover. By the way, while that whole bridge skirmish was happening, I believe Burn in Silence ended up eliminating.
Okay.
Yeah, eliminating Next Gen. So they're over there going to be holding down that compound. But Inko up here in the north, this is not in the play zone. Circle is going to start to close in about 36 seconds.
Yeah, I think they're just looking for some elims. They have 5 already to their name. I believe they actually wiped out the 2 remaining Zombie Boys players on this north side. Moneymakers as well. They took an engagement with S2G, Coops, and the likes of them. So unfortunately, they're out of the game as well. But those teams, man, they had high elimination counts when we last saw them, right? So these squads on the north side, they're all kind of sharks in the water, smelling for the blood, trying to get the action underway before they have to rotate. Because you didn't make note of it, Dave, that zone shift, Burn in Silence, is actually still in the circle at their compound. So a really pristine spot for them to kind of get blessed with for this match 1. But they still got to be able to fire. They still got to be able to take the action to one another. And now it's going to be Most Wanted versus SON doing just that.
Let's see, Most Wanted with the uphill battle, only a solo. Yep, we're like, nah, I'm gonna pull back right there. I'm gonna pull back. You guys, you can have that hill.
Oh, and that's another team. What is that? Inco Gaming coming in?
Yeah, sandwich. So right there downrange, Inco pulling up for an easy elimination.
Now I believe they have a bit of terrain to work with potentially here as well on this northwestern edge, but they got to fight off SON, the duo. They've got to deal with Inco taking the action. The two squads are destined to fight at some point. It's just a matter of how committed you want to be to it, right? How close you want to get to some of these other teams. And it looks like elsewhere in the map there's action going on to Zfon's team, taking it to Friend. But unfortunately, Inco Gaming, they've got their eyes set, Dave. They're looking right at SON.
Oh my goodness. Senses right there. Oh, finally got shot from Zfon. No, TTP. Oh, barrier.
Wow.
Distance as well. That was a beautiful boulder. I really did like that boulder. But like you said, all these angles, there's just so many points that a third party or a fourth party would be possible, and we saw right there exactly how that unfolded.
Yeah, the circle shift as well goes all the way southeast, so the hillside, the sort of bloodbath that happened up on the mountaintop, it's got to start coming down. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if Inco's going to be able to get 7 up. It looks like they're going to be going for him. Bruno's in, one of the latest members added to this roster, coming in hot, trying to make the action kind of happen for them to get into the circle shift. But we're talking top 4 situation, Dave. We're looking at it all. Unfortunately, I believe your and I's picks both aren't in it. So a little bit of castle first going on, but we got 4 more matches today.
Inco, they have the whole team alive. I don't know, 4, by the way. They got 8 eliminations, and then you got Team Washed with 9 eliminations, but they're going to be missing Econ forever. So they're going to be right here behind this vehicle, behind these wooden crates. They have to cover for the time being. But honestly, making it out of here alive is going to be so difficult.
Yeah, that box there just not able to be enough cover. We're seeing they're trying to blow up the vehicles as well, but there's just that little bit of elevation change that Inco Gaming's holding on to from the road, being able to kind of crane over and shoot down onto the last remaining duo of Zfon squad. So BIS Burn Silence, they're kind of vibing. Inco Gaming's up on the sort of north side of the road, but they've got to start moving, Dave. They got blessed at the compound, and now it goes into the nothingness, the open void that is in front of Inco Gaming. So I'm interested in seeing if you see any pickaxe plays potentially coming into play to make that sort of hard cover for this match 1.
Pickaxe plays.
Pickaxe plays.
Pickaxe
PAP.
plays.
PAP.
Top 5 plays. Here we go. Here's that cover we were looking for. Going to allow them to push a little more forward into the play zone. McGrellan out here with the lean peak, sees something out there moving. I see the damage numbers getting chunked out over there. Inco, this is looking like their game to win. One of their players knocked down but not out. Burn and Silence looking to reposition with their trio. Looking at third party this one.
Yeah, I think they got to look for it now. And SON solo actually was the one that knocked the Inco Gaming player. So unfortunately for Inco Gaming, they were able to actually flush out the player before they got thirsted. So potential 4-man reset coming in. And with it being stage 7, you cannot be sitting in that blue zone much longer. I don't believe that sort of jammer pack, if they have it, Dave, is going to last them that long in the circle. But every HP tick matters. And now we see it Burn in Silence making the rotation. They actually went for Zfon squad, but there's no one there, Dave. PIS for Inco Gaming now. 2v4 situation. And unfortunately, Inco Gaming, they've got all the cards in their hands, Dave. This is looking like a wrap for them.
They got all the cards. They got the whole team alive. They got 12 eliminations. Burn and Silence should be getting the second place right here. McGrella looks at the off angle, the pre-fire, the M4, the shots landed. Inco Gaming with the first ever official Rondo Royale winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Yeah, I mean, that squad, they weren't just sitting there pretty all game. They made sure to go out and after it with every single squad on the mountain. They were pulling out the rotations. We're seeing the sort of flare drops coming in with these teams coming and it's being like, hey, we're going to make our own cover on the roadside. They were able to show a lot of stuff for this new map. And I'm really happy to just see for Inco Gaming, we saw them, you know, with Americas and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit more of a rougher performance, but it looks like over the last few months, they've really been able to kind of dial it in and see what they've all been able to do. And I do believe we actually have the winner chicken dinner stats for the squad. So for Inco Gaming, this team that we just saw win the first match of Rondo Royale, these sort of stat lines that this team's able to put up, it's really going to be something for us to kind of digest, because you and I, we're numbers guys, right? Numbers. We like looking at everything and understanding what went on in that last match.
Talked about what went on. 13 eliminations is what went on. Over 2,000 damage done for Inco Gaming right there. So that was remarkable. And you know me, we've been hanging out for a while now. I'm a fan of just straight up momentum, baby. You know what I'm saying? So this is game number 1. You come out the gate swinging. You get over 2k damage done, plus the win, plus 13 eliminations. Like, you're gonna be way in the lead and you're gonna be feeling good, baby.
Yeah, and one of the stats I want to make a quick note of for everyone watching, we've got the full squad time. This is going to be how long you've been able to keep all 4 members up and alive. And for Inco Gaming, we saw it. They were up and alive the whole match, 25 minutes. You bring in this momentum factor, Dave. And yeah, the momentum could maybe be going for 1 or 2 players, you know, in some of the matches you pop off in the end. But for Inco Gaming, it looks like all 4 of them, because they were able to keep all 4 players up. This next game is going to be that, in that regard, for who is able to keep that snowball kind of going downhill, or I guess the dirt ball for Rondo going downhill. And for Inco Gaming, man, they were able to really show it. Let's bring up, hey, the dirt ball, come on, the dirt ball itself. I mean, not in a bad way. But anyways, let's bring up the match results. Let's see how that sort of first match went down. 13 eliminations, 10 ranked points. That's why Inco Gaming's got 23 at the top. But Burning Silence sitting there at 10, Team Wash with 14, and SON at 11, Dave. I'm seeing a lot of double-digit team names, which for me, it's a great sign. A lot of these players showed up and they said, hey, we understand Rondo, but can they do it back-to-back again? Can they get the points where it matters most in these matches?
Coops and friends, we see them down there. We didn't really see them too much on the main feed, but 7 total points going their way. Money makers, yeah, we did pop over to them a couple times. They get a total of 10 points, 9 of those being eliminations. So kind of goes to show you how crucial eliminations are with the point structure. So money makers, 4 more games to go. Not worried. I'm gonna say I'm worried about 0 Fox given, because listen, I'm gonna continue to cheer for the squad, but we need to do better. All right, 4 more games to go. We need some points, team. We need some points. We need some points.
The points are what matter most, Dave. And the elims, you got to be ready for it. I know we got a lot of big names in the lobby, right, for these players to kind of go up against each other. But we also got some squads that maybe aren't as vested, as experienced as it. And that's the beauty of PUBG Mobile, is we're talking 16 teams. You come in, you play it, the new map. It doesn't matter what scotch free these other people have. It's all about how you perform on the map and how you can experience everything new that Rondo has to offer, right? And for the most part, guys, that's going to be match number 1 down. 4 more remaining. Don't go anywhere, guys, because when we come right back, match number 2 coming your way.
3.7 introduces a brand new map, Rondo. Let's explore it together. It is the largest map in the game by landmass and accommodates up to 100 players at a time. Here, traditional style meets modern aesthetics beneath clear skies and sunsets. Jadina City is a dense urban sprawl of towering skyscrapers and abundant supplies. The city's prosperity flourishes under dazzling neon lights. A bridge crosses the entire city, and there are escalators and moving walkways all over to help you get around. All cities are surrounded by suburbs. Floating on water at the southern end of Rondo are Rinjiang's restaurant and luxurious waterfront residences, which offer a great view of the docks. Rondo is also home to many industries. The local NeoX factory is one of them. They manufacture all kinds of vehicles that then make their debut on the test track. Take a break from the modern opulence of the city to visit locations like Tin Long Garden or Yulin and enjoy the beautiful scenery with Eastern-style architecture. Or head to Stadium and Jiaotin to enjoy some theater and a sports event. Rondo has lots to offer no matter where you go. In addition to these diverse landscapes, Rondo also has mechanics that make it unique. When you enter Rondo, you may be randomly assigned to one of 2 planes with the rest of your team. Spreading players out like this increases the overall utilization of the map. Shops in Rondo are also unlike any other. There are basic stores and premium stores. Basic stores are common and can carry supplies, vehicles, or supply blind boxes. Its currency can be obtained by selling firearm attachments or gold bars. Gold bars are obtained from safes located throughout the map. Premium stores only appear in Rinjiang and Lohua Shine. They carry airdrop supplies, so if you're skilled enough, definitely go for them. Beware that they're patrolled by powerful guards that you must defeat before approaching. The JS-9 will drop from regular guards, and the MG-3 airdrop weapon will drop from commanders. You can also loot their helmets and armor to dress up as them and impress other players. The presence of these guards makes it very risky to land near premium stores at the start of a match. You'll likely be defeated because you won't have any gear, so tread carefully. Rondo also has a unique terrain destruction mechanic. Here, terrain can be destroyed with pickaxes, grenades, or vehicle explosions. When you're fighting in an area with minimal cover, you can use your surrounding terrain to create cover. The maximum destruction depth is 1.3 meters. Note that only the ground can be destroyed. Buildings, water, and cement are indestructible. While terraforming, all destructible objects within range will also be destroyed. There is a special area in Rondo called the EMP zone. Neither you nor your surroundings will take any physical damage here, but electronic reticles on scopes and sights get deactivated, and vehicles with engines will cease operating. Stores, recall towers, and the signal jammer backpack will also stop working. When the EMP zone appears, there will be a notification on the screen. It will close and stop spawning after the 3rd time the blue zone closes in and will not appear again. Rondo has some interesting scenery objects as well. You can use escalators and moving walkways to get around faster, but if you travel against its direction, your speed will be reduced. There are birds in cages around the map that will call out when they sense movement. Destroy the cages to set the birds free. Destructible bamboo can be found all over Rondo, which can be damaged by throwables and vehicles, adding another layer of complexity to battles. Naturally, Rondo also has new weapons and items. The JS-9 is a new type of single-shot submachine gun with a full auto mode. It boasts a fast rate of fire with excellent damage output and stable recoil. It is compatible with all SMG muzzles and magazines and is extremely accessible, making it suitable for all players. Stun gun. Any target hit will be temporarily blinded and immobilized, unable to retaliate. It takes up the pistol slot, so you can bring it along without sacrificing a main weapon slot. You could also travel with your teammates and use the stun gun to immobilize enemies for your teammates to take out, maximizing the weapon's full potential. The pickaxe is a new melee weapon available in Rondo, and it's quite versatile. You can use it to destroy terrain for more flexibility in battle. With it, the battleground belongs to you. The emergency cover flare is a new throwable. A few seconds after using it, 2 large, triangular cover objects will fall from the sky. The objects can't be destroyed, making them ideal protection against gunfire. However, note that they can deal heavy damage to any player or vehicle when they land, so don't get hit. You also can't use this item indoors. The Signal Jammer backpack has the capacity of a level 2 backpack, but it is also capable of withstanding 100 blue zone damage. When its durability is depleted, you will start taking blue zone damage as if it were a regular level 2 backpack. This feature makes it great for exploring outside the play zone in the early game and facing off in the final play zone. In addition to these items, there's the new Battle Ready Kit. This advanced consumable will restore all your health and energy so you're fit to dive straight back into battle. You'll find the new Forest Ghillie suit available as an airdrop. Equip it to become one with Rondo's greenery and sneak up on your enemies. In addition to all of this, Rondo introduces 2 new vehicles to the fray. The Pico Bus is a new 6-seater vehicle that runs on battery. It boasts impressive acceleration and is extremely quiet. It gets moving quickly, which consumes a lot of battery. But don't worry, the Pico Bus has an energy recovery trait that allows it to recover and store energy when braking or decelerating, which extends its endurance. The Blanc is a new SUV that seats 4 players and has a storage compartment that can carry loads of emergency supplies. Rondo has tons more content for you to discover, so head to PUBG Mobile and check it out now!
Try something new, Pico Bus. Battery-powered extraordinary torque.
Hello and welcome back everyone to the Rondo Royale, the first ever official PUBG Mobile event for Rondo. I'm Enigma with the man himself, Mustache Dave, baby. Match 1 done and dusted, right? Match 2 though, we're getting told it's gonna be coming shortly underway.
Rondo! By the way, I need you to hype it up, you and I, every time there's
Rondo!
a win. Every time there's a win. Rondo! It just has a ring to it. By the way, I saw some people asking in chat. They want to know, where are you at right now? You're like, what void are you in? I mean, a dark cave. What's going on?
Come on. It's gotta be the shades they're coming in. It's all that sort of stuff. The 5th dimension. I don't like getting into it too much because we're here for Rondo, Dave, not for my cave that I've got going on, right? It's all about that Rondo action.
You're in the other plane. That's what's happening.
Yeah,
you are in the other plane, steering that bad boy up there towards stadium. You'll love to see it. Another new feature of Rondo. We don't have one. We got 2 planes here, Enigma. You'll love to see it.
Hey, 2, 1's always not enough for me. And for Rondo, I love that it's just this map today. 5 matches. Hopefully we see more of the double plane path because then it really spices up which kind of seat you're in, if you're on plane 1 or plane 2, if you're going for the hot drops, because if you landed a POI with someone else, right, you're hoping you're on this closer side.
Yeah.
You're hoping that you get the drop spot going. And that just adds another level to the chaos that is Rondo. And I'm all for it, right? I'm all for these squads having to battle it out tooth and nail over these remaining 4 matches today. And it's not just today, right, Dave? Tomorrow we've got 5 more matches. Exactly.
Oh man, I wonder if the plane up in the north tickets are a little more expensive. You know what I'm saying? Flying first class, baby. Looks like a lot of players dropping out late of the plane that went from south to north. Gonna be extreme slayers over there, and burn in silence here. We're on the same page. I mean, we are finishing each other's sentences. I mean, that's how connected we are right now. We're just locked into this Rondo map. Liquid over here on the rooftops, in the buildings. Gonna be straight out on the paw, up close and personal. Who do you have winning this one?
I've got Liquid winning it because S1 was getting knocked earlier hot in that first match. I'm expecting S1 to kind of get the back foot. Yeah, not being able to land the shot. Liquid, they're actually getting a lot of good damage going off here, Dave. On to S1, the hot drops, no vest, no helmet for some reason. We're actually seeing the nade come through, and Wolf hitting him on his feet where it hurts the most. Liquid now struggling to get the players up and dusted, but the back and forth, the 1v1s, it's all coming down to who has the right equipment in the arsenal for them to use. And SON, I believe they're down to just a solo now, and the free fire comes through. SON 4 for 0 wipe for Liquid Vincier, and hot drop. That's not what you're wanting to see out of SON, unfortunately.
That's what I'm wanting to see in general. You know what else I want to see? I want to see after you get like a squad wipe like that, get a pickaxe and dig them a hole. You know what I'm saying? Dig them a hole. You know, dig them a hole. Listen. Back in the day, it was like emoting, shooting the crates. Digging the hole is like the next level of just BM. I think that's the ultimate mind game right there. Looking over here though at the Angels Esports, the winners, first place of the Titan Series Women's Division. Looks like they did lose one of their squad mates here early on.
Yeah, I believe this is going to be on to Coops and Friends. Them having a 4-man this time around, 4v3 situation going on in this POI spot. And For these squads, there's not that many teams really around them. It is a POI spot that's not in the circle shift, so there's always that discussion of if we maybe just choose to rotate out or if we choose to kind of stay and fight this as a 3v4. But it looks like Coops himself, actually, he's going to be taking the initiative, already crossing the street, trying to really box in the Angels from being able to actually maybe rotate away from this fight. And looks like they've already got notice of it. The vehicle's right in front of him. He actually spots him moving around, and he's not even... What are we doing here? You got to reload the gun first.
All right, I think we got ammo right there. We got ammo from the boys.
Oh, and this is going to be, what is that? A Dacia that they were running for. So the Angels getting caught out in the open, not getting knocked, thankfully, but you got to be able to get the med situation under control. Med kit. So the arm shots, it's actually going to be Skady up in front getting knocked first. So Angel Esports down to 2. I think you got to make this do or die sign with the Dacia. Get out of dodge and get away from Coops and friends because they're coming in swinging.
Let's see. Now that we got the ammo, we got the 4 times, we got the M4, and we see you underneath the vehicle going for that last minute heal.
Ooh.
Coops and friends quickly surrounding the last Angel, I believe, looking to take them out. Oh, there's another Angel, actually Marley on the rooftop here, who is being really passive and quiet for the time being.
There's one. She was able to get one.
Marley. Yep, with the suppressed gun from the window. Sneak peeking right there, and immediately taken out from Wancho's Uzi. Uzi. Uzi.
Rondo. Come on, we got to get hype with it.
Rondo's a good map, man. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling Rondo. I like it.
Hey, my only thing is there's always the terrain question, and I feel Rondo's got all of it. They've got it where you can make it yourself. You've got a lot of trees, openness. The POIs are in pretty solid spots, in my opinion, compared to the other maps. And for the most part, anything new is just, you know, I'm always going to be a fan for. The honeymoon stage, I think, is going to last very long for this map, at least for the likes of me, especially when it comes to you and I watching competitive play on the map, because you always kind of pick up something new, a different spot. It's not like a map that's been out for years. We're talking a week of these people playing it. So it's really kind of just, we can understand the thought process that these teams are really going through, so we can actually see maybe what, you know, are we on the same wavelength? Do we understand what's going through the minds of the money makers or J7 and the likes of them? And usually I think a lot of people, if you're those rank grinders and stuff like that, we could very well even be seeing you in the future in one of these Rondo events and the likes of that, right, Dave? So it's always that sort of sight line. But one thing that I want to make note of too, Dave, is right on the left side there, we saw it on the edge, the EMP zone coming in hot. That's something new on this map. Makes your vehicle completely stop. Can't be doing jack with half the stuff you have. It's a really kind of tragic situation. If you get caught in the dead center of it, you honestly just gotta wait.
I like it because it kind of eliminates some terrain, some playable area almost of the map, right? So it definitely makes things feel a lot more tighter, a lot more closer together, especially when it comes to like the options that your team might have when it comes to like rotating in these early zones. So I think it does add like an extra spice factor to it, right? Reminds me a lot of like reminds me of what? A lot. I don't want to say it. TLDR, man. TLDR. Most wanted out here.
Oh,
here's the zone we were just talking about.
Now they're in it.
They're in it. I mean, he's like, what's happening here?
He's like, wait a minute.
So gas vehicles do work in this zone, but it depletes the electric vehicles, if I'm not mistaken.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
I can see it.
You can see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
That's when you need to dig a hole. You know, just dig a hole and wait it out.
Dig a hole for you and your car.
Wait it out. And your car. Wait it out. Alec with the DP up here 4 times. This is a weapon that I want to see come back, man. I want to see it come back. I know a lot of people used to call it the heat gun. All right, I'll take it. Bring it back though, man.
Hey, listen, a $5 fill-up almost with that bad boy.
$5
stuff, I think that in the 249, you gotta bring it back in, because anything with anything more than 40 rounds in the mag, you're doing a bunch of damage to vehicles on this, I think it's got to be something crucial for it. And unfortunately, next gen looks like we're actually kind of lost. We're not even able to stand up in this spot. So Extreme Slayer, I don't even think they know he's able to kind of stand up in the corner. 1 HP and nothing else to it. In the dip, the nades, he's not even going to get it.
Hey, man, it's a nice spot to just relax and take a soak. Take a nice soak. Quan dead shot on the footbridge with a vehicle. Tower takes some shots down range. Almost getting vehicle blow up, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, looks like next gen, one of their players deciding to take an early dip here. Will be bleeding out.
Bleeding out in the water.
Happens.
Happens to the best of us on Rondo. Okay. And unfortunately for next gen, I don't believe their first match was really too solid of a performance. But luckily for them, they've still got the 2. And you were saying it the first game, Dave. 2 people is all you need. And BIS, they've got that right now against X-Force 3v2 situation. And looks like Burn and Silence, they've actually got a great position over top, holding the high ground. Rage, keeping Serums kind of at bay on the Tesla vehicle. And I gotta wonder, Dave, okay, for Burn and Silence, do they try to get Taro up here, or do they take the 3v4 fight?
Yeah, you definitely go for the fight first, you know, try to get at least 1 or 2 more knocks, then pop a smoke and get Tara up, right? I mean, you start going for that revive, you're just gonna get shredded. And it looks like X-Force now gonna be working their way up the hill with the vehicles, looking to get these alternate angles here. We are up close and personal. We're looking to let this one rip.
Yeah, and Serums, he's spearheading it. He's got the JS9 I want, but it's going to be one of the BIS players shooting him off to the side, getting the angles down and dusted. Unfortunately, though, Burn and Silence, we're getting ISO'd out 1v1 situation here on Dren against Serums. And
cooking it.
Okay, the Molly is coming through, but you got to, I think, find the sooner versus later. You cannot let this wait much longer because X-Force, they're starting to condense down. They're grouping up, and they're looking to take names here on the mountaintop.
And they are, but look at this. We get the help from the off angle from behind. So this might be a crucial knock here. Lim going to be working their way up the stairs and out. The roles have turned here. Now X-Force are on the 2nd story of the building, and Burn and Silence on the outskirts, essentially here.
One as well, maybe, and Burn and Silence just... The shotgun's coming into play, making quick work of X-Force 3v4 spot.
Wow.
This is going to be on the edge of the circle, and our 2nd place Titan Series squad teams are showing up ready to perform on Rondo.
That was great, man. That was great. Holy cow. Shotgun's OP right there.
Yeah.
This is my house. This is my house. Burning Silence. Representing. Trevor from the Zombie Boys really looking to get that knock down there, using the whole magazine. Circles continue to close up. Looks like we're going to be sending it up there towards the northeast. Chiffon forever and Inko, they might get into a little skirmish over there on the edge, but looking over here, Zombie Boys looking to make their approach past 2 different teams, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Eventually, they're the furthest away from the zone, but shout out to Burn and Silence. Let's see what they can do though, because now we got round 2, baby.
Yeah, this time it's going to be against Liquid Vincier 3v3 situation. Now they actually caught one of the players of LV pulling up solo, and it's not even going to be a 3v3 anymore, Dave. Moneymakers, the Sharks in the water on this western edge. They're looking for the 3rd party, picking off 1 freebie already to their name. So you're Burning Silence, you've got to maybe turn your sights towards the Moneymakers. Focus on Liquid here while the fight's kind of happening all around you. And I kind of feel sorry for Burning Silence almost. Look at this. They're so trapped on this mountaintop. Hopefully Rival's able to keep up on this vehicle, get the med off before Baton can really find the knock. But nades, they're too fast for Moneymakers. The congestion on this mountaintop. This isn't even near the center of zone, Dave. This is all the way up on the northwest side. So these squads going to have to deal with the blue zone as well coming in. It's really fine, but that's what you need. The opening knock on the Crow, maybe even a Thirst if the nade lands right. And gonna reach in there. It's getting real close. But
so close.
the damage, it's hopefully they can get another one right. They gotta get the thirst, unless Burn in Silence, you maybe even have to push out into the money makers now.
Burn in Silence, you can tell their communication is just on point right now. It does look like one of the squad mates was knocked out on the off angle push. The last two who do remain alive still going to be up here on the second story. They're going to be pretty much allowing the pickup to happen from the money makers. So the money makers will have the numbers advantage here very shortly. You see them popping in their vehicles, looking to not get chunked up by the blue zone. More or less get an alternate angle on this window. Rage, just waiting, buying some time here. What an interesting skirmish this focal point has been for a while now. Crow, though, great grenade. That might just provide them the window of opportunity to just send it up here as 3. Here comes the Molotovs. Here comes a follow-up grenade. Burn in Silence will be burning alive right there. They did a great job, though. They did a great job. I believe 6 eliminations before getting eliminated. So
yeah, that as well as that first game performance, you know, reaching that top 2 finish, the points, they've been adding up. Unfortunately for them, it's just when you have one team after another, you can't really expect the same squad to be able to weather the storm every time, right? And with it being Rondo, everything's new. You're not sure maybe what spots are already taken, what kind of favorite mountaintops or POIs get taken so early on in the circle shift. So I'm not surprised we saw Burn in Silence kind of stay true to their mark and try to fight it out where they had just previously won that 4v3 engagement.
True. Zero Fox given, though. Look at this. Game number 2. Both teams alive.
Okay.
They got next gen right down range in their sights, in their crosshairs. We're going to be plotting and scheming right now. They will need to watch out because remember, money makers, this is not too far from that last skirmish, so this is gonna be right there on the edge. Money makers are gonna be up there towards the north, so Zero Fox given in a dangerous spot to possibly be sandwiched here. And yep, Crow already getting some angles from downtown. Little pepper, salt and pepper action right there. Letting them know, hey, we know you're there. You're not safe, as we saw some damage come out.
Hey, you gotta have the seasoning at some point. You can't just be having that chicken with nothing on it when you're cooking it at the end of the match. And for Zero Fox given, luckily for them, Crow wasn't close enough to really be able to kind of get any meaningful damage down, other than honestly giving some warning shots, in my opinion, to Zero Fox given. So hopefully we're able to see ZFG Bella Fox's team be able to kind of rotate in and kind of get away from both these squads. But it actually looks like Red Ox, he's able to get an opening knock onto the team, the rotation in, but they're actually getting sandwiched now. Dave, you talked about the meat sandwich. What about the double-decker meat sandwich? Inco Gaming now coming in from the back, and everyone's looking for the brawl still. They're not stopping in these sorts of actions.
Grenade in the pocket. Undercooked right there, bouncing off the tree. That tree is saving their life. Like you said, Inco going to be right behind the money makers here. So the money makers, such a aggressive squad. They're just looking for some eliminations. McGrellin, though, from behind, spotting out one of the Zero Fox given members, going to be getting the knockout right there. Position is now exposed, but here comes the squad mates with the vehicle, just straight up send it through the dip. 7 popping out. 0-5 bot trying to get the quick turnaround. Pepsi trying to save the day. The last one alive right now for 0-5 given, playing ring around the rosy with the holder. We got the shotgun. We're looking for the feet. We're looking for the connection. Can we get it? There, we got it, baby.
That's the clutch right there. 3 to Pepsi's name, just absolutely slaughtering and clutching up for the team. And with that knock coming in at that right moment, being able to, I believe, get at least a 3-man reset going on. So yeah, you lost one, you're on the back foot. And frankly, in my eyes, when I saw that first opening knock, I thought they were done and dusted, Dave. But the shotguns, it's all about that ring around the rosy and how you play it out. And Zero Fox given really putting in work against last match winners.
Up, Pepsi for another one. Oh man, we only got one more member of the Moneymakers, and they have been just locked in. Tunnel vision. Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Here we go. That's that cover,
That's
right?
the hard cover. Yeah,
That's the hard cover. We're gonna. Holy cow!
Block.
Holy cow!
Oh,
It's coming in,
God.
baby, from the sky.
Oh,
Boom,
my.
boom! It's a crushing, baby. It's crushing time.
The tree. I think it honestly saved whoever was driving in the vehicle. Look how close that was to landing on him. But the Moneymakers, you're a solo. You gotta look for the shots here, right? But now Dauntless. Oh no, Zero Fox Given. It's the same situation with Inko. We gotta look for the fight here. And oh, he's actually popped out of 3D. Get the one knock, but they've got the extra cover. Can they use it? Can they get the reset? Can Pepsi clutch up again for 0FGs? Or will Dauntless, will Bob be the main nightmare for him? And look at this, Dauntless, they're swarming on the dip here, Dave. And unfortunately, it's just free shots for the rest of the squad. They're not even gonna give him the one.
Man, everybody and their mother. It's like it's an ice cream shop down here, and there's free scoops out. Free scoops ice cream. We got them all. We got chocolate swirl. We got vanilla. We got strawberry cupcake flavors out here. I mean, everybody just focusing on this area, trying to take out Zero Fox Given. Finally, they are going to be eliminated. So Zero Fox Given, they did such a good job. Pepsi were right there with the clutch. Amazing. The thing is, they only walked away with 3 eliminations here in game number 2. That's it. Out of all that action, only 3 points.
3 points, and then what, maybe 1 off the placement? I'm not even sure. We had so many teams get eliminated there if they even reached that top 8 for placement points, right? So Rondo really just showing the true brute force that is kind of the meat grinder almost of some of these parts of zones, because this has all been on this far northwestern edge of the circle, Dave. Every single team that's come into play is either rotated around the edge of the circle, or they were already posted up and just had the action brought right to them. So for Zero Fox Given, shout out to them, of course, for getting the elims and stuff like that. It was a valiant effort, to say the least. But unfortunately, it's just not able to kind of have that, I guess you could say, breathing room for you to be able to move forward and kind of play out the rest of this end game. But we see it on the map here, Dave, with all the action going on. We haven't really noticed. We're already into stage 5 of the second match of Rondo, and Dauntless, they've got a huge piece of the pie for this circle shift.
Yeah, nice piece of pie here. Looks like they got a 3-1 split, so they got a lot of room to work with. Quan Deadshot right behind them, though. So Quan Deadshot can play spoiler. Quan Deadshot, though, is going to be somewhat in the crosshairs of Most Wanted, though. So Most Wanted, another squad with the whole team alive. So Dauntless, Most Wanted, the only 2 teams left in the lobby that has the full 4-member team. We'll have to see how those numbers play into effect. But Klaus, wow, what a beautiful shot right there. A little lean peek action with a quick flick of the wrist. We'll be getting elimination.
Yeah, I think that was all whole 3 here. Oh my goodness.
Oh, another one.
Putting him down. I mean, Juancho, he was going for the reset, pulled up late, going for the 1v1, and just barely even got any damage. And I think that was all from Salt on an Overwatch angle. So Dauntless really feeling themselves the second match of Rondo. But with these solos, we were talking about Quan, Deadshot, Salty's kind of another one now, being able to place onto the Dauntless squad. But I'd honestly like to see him maybe play a little bit quieter. Wait for maybe Dauntless to kind of forget about you, because that southern side, Zombie Boys, Most Wanted, even Liquid Vincier, they've still got to make their way in. You could find the right timing, the right moment to really be able to kind of ruin someone's day, so to speak, and be able to prevent. Oh, a water car.
Water car.
We'll take.
We're safe, baby. 7 eliminations for Coops and friends here. So Salty, the last one alive, might be looking for that jammer backpack, possibly, maybe some additional meds to, like you said, really lay low and show up in the late game. But Liquid over here, this is solo, definitely defending this boulder. The hilltop, Dauntless going to be holding it down. Dauntless going to be getting pieced up and creased up from alternate angles down range. It's going to be Most Wanted now pulling up from behind. So that's solo on the hilltop really getting the attention of Dauntless, and might have been getting the better half of them here, really allowing Most Wanted to make the push.
Yeah, but it looks like Most Wanted only sent 2 players up onto this northern edge, so it essentially came down to Dauntless in a 2v2. Snowick's getting knocked and thirsted immediately by, I believe, an S12K, so they made the right play. I think they just didn't send enough manpower for it, and now we're starting to see it. Most Wanted forced to take these 1v1 engagements against Dauntless, and unfortunately, it sends him versus Klaus. He had the right news for me, but Klaus has been on it today this match. I mean, just 2 1v1s into the nade trade knock, and look at this. Bob, he's already on the reset, the thirst into it. Rob himself, the lesser version of Bob, not close enough to find the trade knock, Dave.
Hey, we got 3 grenades. We're going for that fadeaway. Rob's not done yet. Rob's gonna be sending it down with the vehicle, looking for revenge on to Bob. We got the shotgun, the pump, we're letting it rip, baby, but Bob's getting the job done.
Oh, look at that, the BM into it, shooting the bodies, 13 elims for Dauntless. And with that being said, Dave, it's a 4v1 situation. How the vehicles are sending over the body bags. They're coming out because Dauntless cleaned house on this match. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, Dauntless, baby. Match number 2 of Rondo. I'm hoping every match is like that, Dave.
Rondo, 14 eliminations going over to Dauntless right there. GG's to Dauntless. Hey, I was telling you last game about my dude Bob. You just never know. You never know with Bob, man. Bob really showing up against Rob right there at the end. Those two, I mean, they got a lot of talking to do. Let's be real. Those two, they got issues that go years back at this point. Family reunions, awkward. Inco Gaming, though, 7 eliminations going their way. Let's pull up that winner chicken dinner graphic, though, because I want to see, Dauntless, what are the numbers? Let's check out the numbers, Enigma.
Yeah, we're always the stats guys, and 1,800 damage, just shy of 1,900, really showing that they were going everywhere and applying the most damage possible. And with 14 eliminations, like you said, it shows that they were finishing their food, as us comp players like to say. You never want to leave the freebies up for grabs for their squads. And this is another squad, Dave, where we saw a full squad timer being in the 20-minute mark. Some of these squads, when it comes to rondos, they get into this flow state and are really able to keep all 4 players remaining, because with this map, there's new rotations, vehicles, weapons, terrain that you could use. Everything's new, and that means there's always room for errors and failure. But luckily for Dauntless, this game around, they were able to keep all 4 players alive for, I mean, 23 minutes. That's a hell of a long time.
Yeah, that's a long time, man. I call that a rotate right there. 14 eliminations. So our winners from game number 1, they did have like 2k damage done, but if I recall, 13 eliminations. So Dauntless taking the top right now with that 14 eliminations going their way, and the whole squad alive as well. So definitely impressive.
Yeah, and for the most part, the impressiveness, we can look at that overall match results of match number 2. We're talking Dauntless, the Zombie Boys, Most Wanted, all top 3, but some teams below them, Dave, they're able to outplace them in terms of points.
Wow. Yeah, straight on a Paul, another Angels, J7, 0 points. X-Force going out with 3 right there. Burn in silence. We saw them in a couple of engagements really defending the hilltop. At least they're going to walk away with 6 points going their way, adding that one to the bank.
Hey, I always like adding to the tally, right? And for these teams, obviously we saw Inco Gaming, they won match 1. Unfortunately, this time around they get 0 placement points, but get 7 elims under their belt. And that really came down to that sort of 4v4 fight, right? With the likes of Burn and Silence, with the likes of Moneymakers coming in for these third-party positions. And these squads, I mean, I really enjoy what I'm seeing, especially on the new map. I would just like to see it just more of always a scramble of different teams doing it. It's a new map. I want to see everyone be able to kind of really digest and understand what's been going on, what's kind of new, and what we can really experience. Because you and I, we want to see this in the competition. We want to see Rondo in these sort of matches with the best and the best. And yeah, This is obviously NA's best year competing tonight. A lot of familiar faces with Zfon and the likes of them, but we also want to see it on that big stage, right? With the Americas teams, with the teams in PMGC potentially at the end of the year. And frankly, you and I, we're all for it.
Yes, sir. And talk about what's going on. We're looking at the Rondo Royale. 2 games done, 3 more to go. And then we got 5 games tomorrow, $5,000 on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. More Rondo Royale coming up after the break.
3.7 introduces a brand new map, Rondo. Let's explore it together. It is the largest map in the game by landmass and accommodates up to 100 players at a time. Here, traditional style meets modern aesthetics beneath clear skies and sunsets. Jadina City is a dense urban sprawl of towering skyscrapers and abundant supplies. The city's prosperity flourishes under dazzling neon lights. A bridge crosses the entire city, and there are escalators and moving walkways all over to help you get around. All cities are surrounded by suburbs. Floating on water at the southern end of Rondo are Rinjiang's restaurant and luxurious waterfront residences, which offer a great view of the docks. Rondo is also home to many industries. The local NeoX factory is one of them. They manufacture all kinds of vehicles that then make their debut on the test track. Take a break from the modern opulence of the city to visit locations like Tin Long Garden or Yulin and enjoy the beautiful scenery with Eastern-style architecture. Or head to Stadium and Jiaotin to enjoy some theater and a sports event. Rondo has lots to offer no matter where you go. In addition to these diverse landscapes, Rondo also has mechanics that make it unique. When you enter Rondo, you may be randomly assigned to one of 2 planes with the rest of your team. Spreading players out like this increases the overall utilization of the map. Shops in Rondo are also unlike any other. There are basic stores and premium stores. Basic stores are common and can carry supplies, vehicles, or supply blind boxes. Its currency can be obtained by selling firearm attachments or gold bars. Gold bars are obtained from safes located throughout the map. Premium stores only appear in Rinjiang and Luohuashan. They carry airdrop supplies, so if you're skilled enough, definitely go for them. Beware that they're patrolled by powerful guards that you must defeat before approaching. The JS9 will drop from regular guards, and the MG3 airdrop weapon will drop from commanders. You can also loot their helmets and armor to dress up as them and impress other players. The presence of these guards makes it very risky to land near premium stores at the start of a match. You'll likely be defeated because you won't have any gear, so tread carefully. Rondo also has a unique terrain destruction mechanic. Here, terrain can be destroyed with pickaxes, grenades, or vehicle explosions. When you're fighting in an area with minimal cover, you can use your surrounding terrain to create cover. The maximum destruction depth is 1.3 meters. Note that only the ground can be destroyed. Buildings, water, and cement are indestructible. While terraforming, all destructible objects within range will also be destroyed. There is a special area in Rondo called the EMP zone. Neither you nor your surroundings will take any physical damage here, but electronic reticles on scopes and sights get deactivated, and vehicles with engines will cease operating. Stores, recall towers, and the signal jammer backpack will also stop working. When the EMP zone appears, there will be a notification on the screen. It will close and stop spawning after the 3rd time the blue zone closes in and will not appear again. Rondo has some interesting scenery objects as well. You can use escalators and moving walkways to get around faster, but if you travel against its direction, your speed will be reduced. There are birds in cages around the map that will call out when they sense movement. Destroy the cages to set the birds free. Destructible bamboo can be found all over Rondo, which can be damaged by throwables and vehicles, adding another layer of complexity to battles. Naturally, Rondo also has new weapons and items. The JS9 is a new type of single-shot submachine gun with a full auto mode. It boasts a fast rate of fire with excellent damage output and stable recoil. It is compatible with all SMG muzzles and magazines and is extremely accessible, making it suitable for all players. Stun gun. Any target hit will be temporarily blinded and immobilized, unable to retaliate. It takes up the pistol slot, so you can bring it along without sacrificing a main weapon slot. You could also travel with your teammates and use the stun gun to immobilize enemies for your teammates to take out, maximizing the weapon's full potential. The pickaxe is a new melee weapon available in Rondo, and it's quite versatile. You can use it to destroy terrain for more flexibility in battle. With it, the battleground belongs to you. The emergency cover flare is a new throwable. A few seconds after using it, 2 large, triangular cover objects will fall from the sky. The objects can't be destroyed, making them ideal protection against gunfire. However, note that they can deal heavy damage to any player or vehicle when they land, so don't get hit. You also can't use this item indoors. The Signal Jammer backpack has the capacity of a level 2 backpack, but it is also capable of withstanding 100 blue zone damage. When its durability is depleted, you will start taking blue zone damage as if it were a regular level 2 backpack. This feature makes it great for exploring outside the play zone in the early game and facing off in the final play zone. In addition to these items, there's the new Battle Ready Kit. This advanced consumable will restore all your health and energy so you're fit to dive straight back into battle. You'll find the new Forest Ghillie suit available as an airdrop. Equip it to become one with Rondo's greenery and sneak up on your enemies. In addition to all of this, Rondo introduces 2 new vehicles to the fray. The Pico Bus is a new 6-seater vehicle that runs on battery. It boasts impressive acceleration and is extremely quiet. It gets moving quickly, which consumes a lot of battery. But don't worry, the Pico Bus has an energy recovery trait that allows it to recover and store energy when braking or decelerating, which extends its endurance. The Blanc is a new SUV that seats 4 players and has a storage compartment that can carry loads of emergency supplies. Rondo has tons more content for you to discover, so head to PUBG Mobile and check it out now.
Try something new.
Hello and welcome back everyone to the official Rondo Royale, the latest edition of Rondo being added to PUBG Mobile for all of us to see on full display. And Dave, baby, we talked about it, 2 matches, right? You and I were the numbers guys, and for the most part, we had seen it, right? Dauntless, 24 total points. The game before that, Inco, 23 total points. A lot of these teams,
Crazy.
They're already putting up big numbers on the new map here on these, and our eyes, competitive matches for these squads.
Good old Rondo, man. Listen, I love this map so much. I'm gonna name my firstborn Rondo, all right? Because that's just what we're doing out here. So yeah, Dauntless, 14 eliminations, like you said. Not 2k damage done, but 1.8, pretty good.
Okay.
You know, they did a great job at what was that, flushing out burn and silence. I really did appreciate their team communication, their synergy, and just their overall strategy. Was able to flush out the rats up there that we saw doing a great job at holding that building down on the hilltop. And that's one thing I like about Rondo, that we're kind of experiencing it together as well. These different like points of interest, and you know, in our example here, the burn and silence compound on the hilltop was just beautiful. It overlooks so much of the terrain. Definitely understand why it was like an important focal point, especially with the zones continuing to shift over there. But yeah, man, I'm loving it here so far. We saw the hardcover concrete on top of Zero Fox Given. I mean, everybody wanted a piece of them this game.
Well, who was that? The Moneymaker solo throwing 2 or 3 of those flares. So he was using it in the way you're probably doing it, Dave, of throwing it right on squads. Hey, you know, get a little lucky, seeing if you can land one right on the dome. I mean, that would make for an awesome clip if we get to see that one of these final 3 matches. But I know we're coming shortly into this 3rd match of Rondo here, Dave. And we're talking, guys, by the way, 10 total matches over 2 days. Today, of course, we've already watched the first 2. This 3rd one, I'm expecting to be no exception to the action we've already seen, Dave. And we got to bring it in, right? The predictions angle. You were talking about it with Zero Fox Given. Are you going back with them for this match?
Oh man, you're really putting me on.
I'm putting you on the spot
here.
Yeah.
If there was a Mustache Day fan favorite, it definitely Zero Fox Given.
Okay.
I mean, all in all, that team is just amazing. When it comes to like who is building up that momentum here tonight, I gotta say it's without a doubt Inco. I feel like Inco, even though they had 0 points last game, I think they're kind of building up that momentum, right? And when a team has strong momentum, as you like to call it, they just dirtball it. I call it a snowball effect, but hey, it is what the dirtball effect. It's cool, man. It works. But yeah, I'm thinking we should see another win from Inco here tonight. If I had to like kind of nail the nail with the hammer on the head, or however the phrase goes, right? But what about you?
That's a saying for we got to get Taylor's expert, mature.
Nailed that. How does it go?
I don't know.
Nailed
the arm. I don't know.
You nailed it.
That's why we need Taylor here. He's the one that's able to get it down for us and stuff like that. But
you hammered the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Nail the hammer.
You nailed the hammer.
Nailed the. Well, I think you're supposed to need the hammer for it, but I think we gotta switch it up off this.
Switch it up.
How about 3? If not, wait. I think this might be 4 squads up on this far northern POI. So 9 up here on the river. I mean, we gotta have more than just a 2-team contest, right? This is like Pachinki on the last day of events. Rondo, I'm hoping this is the spot for teams to just battle it out with 3 or 4 teams, fighting over scraps, essentially, right?
My dog Rondo. We got Inco over here. We got the Zombie Boys. We got X-Force. So 3 different teams and moneymakers too. 4 different teams. Wow, yeah. Talk about mom's lasagna. We got 4 different teams up here, and the kicker, it's not even in circle number 1 here, Enigma. It's not even in it, man.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, yeah, I expect one of these teams to at least pull out maybe and kind of drive away. It looks like Inco Gaming's done just that. Vitali being still in the POI, sort of up on the northeastern edge of the city here. But the rest of these teams, man, you're really going to have to be fighting for 1, if not 2 weapons. Hopefully you get lucky and get a vest and a helmet as a drop. But X-Force, they're taking the initiative. They've got an early knock onto one of the money-making players, but he's got an M24. Dave, he's not got the gun that you want. And against the Uzi, yeah, some of us, we've seen the clips on Twitter and stuff, or on the YouTube shorts of hitting the sort of hip fire, or maybe the quick scopes with the 2-4. But this is the top match. Does he get it down? No. Uzi reigns supreme, and you were actually a fan of that.
The Uzi Angel right there.
Yeah, the Uzi.
The Uzi Angel. I love the Uzi. Yeah, the Uzi. Definitely one of my top 5 weapons in all of.
Okay.
Yep, all of PUBG Mobile. There is that dual, the dually 9mm. I forget the name of the actual weapon, but kind of similar, right? Kind of similar.
Yeah.
What is it called again?
Talking about this map? We're talking the MP7.
Yeah, the MP7.
Come on, Dave.
There
you gotta remember that. Well, the bus. I mean,
I never find it though. I never find it though.
The dual wield?
The dual wield. Yeah, I never find it.
Well, I'd like to see someone rock it in here so we can get a good glimpse of maybe you could do some cheeky pre-fires or maybe some other stuff, but it's kind of getting a little worried there.
Ooh, I like this backpack though.
Yeah. Ooh, there's a little cactus. Oh my goodness. I thought that was another team.
Ah, man, it's the pickup.
Same squad. Same squad.
The Pico bus pickup service at your doorstep. There you go.
You're coining that? You're trademarking it?
Trademark pending.
Trademark pending.
Clint Productions LLC.
Hey, Clint, he already knows. He's got it dialed in. Unfortunately, though, it looks like the zombie boys, they're trying to dial it in.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
driving up on
teams.
Them.
No action.
This is why you need the bus, though, Dave. You got the 6 seats. You've got the slot. Oh, the zombie boys are in the river.
No.
Not like this. And what is that?
raft?
Just a solo. Oh, the. Now we need to add a
we got the cover though. Did he throw the cover? I saw he has one of the covers.
I think
now
he
we're
did.
tossing
Yeah.
some smokes.
There's no smoke there. No, that's the cover
there. It is.
Okay. Trevor, get behind it.
Trevor's like, nah,
no.
this game's a wash, man. I'm just gonna slowly bleed out. This is my life now. This is my Rondo experience.
This sums it up perfectly. You try to make it across the water. No,
Look
it
at
ain't
that water,
happening.
though, man. Look at that, like the current. Look at those graphics.
It's flowing.
It's flowing.
I think there's one of the Zombie Boy players still alive. It's not just a solo, so it's
In the
maybe
water.
Crazy could get out. No, there's one in the water, and I think there's another driving up.
We need a crazy POV. Crazy POV.
Come on, hit the swap.
the
LLC,
swap.
Clint LLC.
LLC.
We got it coming in hot. Yep, there we go. Fetty.
That's a Fetty POC. There we go.
Oh.
We're big chilling. And you know what? That water, the rip currents, it kind of blocks the sightlines almost, right? So they thought, okay, that's everybody. They're done. Nobody's down there for sure. But nah, crazy. He's crazy. You know, he's down there for the whole game.
Rondo makes you crazy, Dave. Okay?
Rondo makes you do crazy things.
It makes you a madman. And unfortunately, the zombie boys, the zombies, I mean, they're getting a little bit crazy. Maybe not in a good way, with them being down to just a solo. But how is it that we're going to have 4 teams drop 1 POI, and it's only going to be 1 fight happening? Not even in the city. We're talking these guys landed on your doorstep, and you didn't even fight them. So
Crazy's still alive, though.
I'm throwing the question marks. Well, I mean, you said you need 2, Dave, not 1. You said you
Listen,
need
Crazy's
2.
gonna win the game. All right,
Okay,
from that
really?
position, you know, the
Really?
zone's just gonna magically shift up there, and boom, that zombie boy is doing
In the
zombie boy
water.
things in the water.
I respect. I'll
I
have
do
to
love
keep
that
note
water,
of it,
man.
Dave.
Where does that stream come from, though? That's my question. That is such a strong flow. Where is it coming from? Because when you look at Rondo, the map, you got like the desert, you got the lush greenery. Like that's gotta be like some ice caps, mountaintops up in the north, right? That we just haven't
Maybe it's
unlocked yet.
Vikendi or
Maybe,
something.
ooh,
Maybe
it's
that's a
Vikendi.
big
The
one.
ice
Yep.
is melting, and here it is. Oh man, yeah.
It
I
comes
think
full
you're
circle.
onto something. You're onto something.
It comes full circle, and then the edge of it, that desert side goes right
That's
to
Miramar.
Yep.
I saw on Reddit one time somebody put together all the maps. It's just one giant map. Imagine that as like a battle royale tournament. Just all the maps combined. One
that'd be awesome.
map, you know, to rule them all.
How many
That's the
teams do you
tournament.
think we'd need though for that?
Well, think about it. If you put 16 on each map, and you combine like 4 of them. 16 times 4. Boom. There's your tournament. Just one map. Super slow circles. So 16 times 4. That's 64 teams. Oh! Clip Productions LLC.
Hey.
Get on it, my dude.
Yeah. Get the maps, code it in.
Code
get
it in.
10 cent
Combine
with-
them.
Whoever's watching from 10 cent, okay?
And then just
the next
make it
map, just make it all the maps.
all the maps.
All
$500,000 prize pool. We play it one time. That's it. That's it, man. Because that map's gonna last like what, 2 or 3 hours,
Yeah.
right?
Hey, but I'd be all for it, especially if you were to be fighting like from the get-go. 2 hours. Now, obviously, spectate might be a little more rough for the most part, but you know we can tweak the zones.
No,
right?
we'll
can
get
make-
like 20
we can tweak-
spectators. You know, that's what I'm saying. We'll ramp it up. I'll invite you, man, since it's my idea. I'll let you come
Yep.
along.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
Because you'll
it,
need
man.
you'll need at least 4 to 5 commentators, right?
Oh,
to
yeah.
kind of look at everything.
each map.
I'm
Wouldn't
creating
need
it,
so,
man. I'm sending my email. Listen, I got 2
cooking.
emails. First email, Rondo Esports, make it happen. You know, that's my first email. Second email, combine all the maps, make it happen. One giant battle royale. You know, make it a $500,000 prize pool. We're getting Shroud. He's coming as long. You know, Shroud. I'm bringing it back. Ninja's gonna be up here. I'm bringing them back, baby.
That'd be it. Just any of those faces. You
Any
get
of those
pros,
faces.
You get multi-region.
You
You
get
get some
multi-
big gaming faces. We get everything under the sun. Just for that one match.
Just for
Nothing
that
else.
one
everything
5-hour
on the
match.
table. Yep. One 24-hour broadcast.
It's the
of
Super
the
Bowl
breakdown.
of
Yep.
PUBG Mobile.
Oh,
Think
man.
about it.
Now you're really speaking volumes these days.
I got visions. I got dreams, man.
The dreams, Dave, unfortunately, they'll probably have to wait a bit for that. To at least make the map and all that, because right now, the dreams for these players are going to be on Rondo. And the likes of it.
Rondo!
And Rondo! I mean, you're starting to make me say it, and you've got this weird itch, like this effect on me, Dave, of making me do things. Don't take that out of context, guys. Don't take it out of context, guys. But Rondo, moneymakers.
Yeah,
Listen,
change the
Dave,
subject.
Listen, Dave, they've been going at it the last 2 games, and I think maybe this would be my pick.
Moneymakers,
Who would maybe have the pop off if they're at least able to make it past that bottom 8. They've been getting some squad wise, but they just get eliminated so early on. We don't really get to see them go full-fledged late game against some of these other teams that ultimately maybe, yeah, it could have been the slower side of the circles, but a lot of these moments I think are more just moneymakers putting themselves in these kind of awkward positions on Rondo.
But you know what? This Rondo Royale, moneymakers, regardless of what position they finish, they're gonna make some money. Everybody's getting money here tonight.
Okay.
So it is what it is. We got the $5,000 cash prize, and it is mixed up. Obviously, the most money going to first place, but it does go down from there. So moneymakers, the name rings true here on tonight's Rondo Royale.
Rondo! Every time we have some stall, I'm just gonna throw it in there, and you're gonna hate the monster.
I don't hate nothing. I love Rondo.
No. Yeah, we love it. We love Rondo.
Look at this new circle, man. There's a lot of teams here. There's a lot of teams here at Rondo. Map number 3, probably gonna heat up to be the most intense, insane map here so far tonight. Yeah. Out of the Rondo Royale, just based on how many teams are still alive here. We only lost 1, and that was J7 squad.
Ooh.
Yeah, that one hurts.
I think they were one of the first squads eliminated as well, if I'm not mistaken, last match. So that really kind of slow start for one of the veteran names in our sort of events. One of the veteran squads on the new map, but with you kind of pointing out the circle, I'm really just looking at our map feed right now, and it's just Joutin being the sort of only POI spot that's in the circle, and the rest of it is just this crazy elevation change with the mountains, with the sort of small compounds right at the base or on kind of the crown sitting point of some parts of these spots. So really interested in seeing how these teams choose to kind of drive around and be able to scout out, a potential spot for them to be able to play. Because if you're driving right up onto some of these teams, you're going to really experience the whole brute force that is Rondo of just getting blasted on the pull-up. So money
fun fact here. I was reading the bio for Rondo. Okay. It says Rondo is the largest map in the game. Ooh. Where traditional and modern aesthetics blend seamlessly together. Okay. So I'm guessing because Miramar has a lot of water out there, on that right-hand side, that Rondo by land mass makes it the largest. That's a fun fact. That's a fun fact.
Well, maybe too, Miramar's got that, far western and northern wall that goes around the edge. Like,
it takes up a lot of it.
It takes up a bit of it, while Rondo's more just right up to the seam of when you open the map, on where you're able to kind of play. So you're speaking volumes again to me, Dave. You're really just preaching to me.
Preaching
the Rondo book that you have it's a gospel almost for all of us to listen to, and that's why we're here, right? For us to all understand what this map has to offer. And Rondo itself, man, I mean, it's giving me everything I'm wanting right now.
Well, that's what they wanted to do with Rondo. They wanted to give you everything you ever wanted in PUBG Mobile. Allows you to craft fresh tactics. Start exploring Rondo's luxurious cities, floating restaurants, tranquil bamboo forest, and serene lakes today. Rondo, out now.
I'm loving it. The pitch of the century coming in. Unfortunately, though, we're just watching the moneymakers now, really struggling to kind of get up onto the mountaintop. Miramar's the mountains are a lot easier to get up there.
What are the moneymakers doing? Looks like they're pulling up all the vehicles in the area to try to see which vehicle. You know what? They don't have the Pickle bus. That's the thing. The Pickle bus can make it up there without a doubt. No issue at all. That's where they're failing in life. But look at this. 0 Fox given. It's like Pepsi on the pull up over there. Pepsi's like, hey, hold my Pepsi. I'm going for it. You guys sit back, relax. Let me get some eliminations here myself. There goes another one. for our favorite player, Pepsi.
Yeah, 2 elims to their name, and I was really surprised Inco Gaming chose to split up, but it just proves how much pressure Zero Fox is able to kind of provide for each other on that mountaintop, and they were able to get on that mountain perfectly fine. I'm not sure what Moneymaker's ideas were in terms of maybe they got to take a note out of Zero Fox here, but Pepsi, man, I mean, just driving forward, she's going for that out. Oh my!
Oh,
okay. 10 out of 10 landing. We love it.
Love to see it. And Rondo also has the horses as well. I saw.
Wait, do they really?
Oh. Yeah. Rondo's got it all, man. Rondo's got it all.
Listen, the horses, I think, were my favorite thing to see in the gauntlet and stuff like that. So seeing it here now, I mean, that'll really take the cake. We gotta have it. Clint LC. If we see the horse, we gotta get on it. We gotta
get on it.
Want just even a glimpse of the horse. It's gotta happen.
Talk about
tonight.
Gotta to happen. Some fights soon, right? I mean, we're hearing some pot shots over here. Zombie Boys, another squad to the grave early on here this game. So Zombie Boys, J7, done and dusted. A lot of teams just kind of setting up camp right now. Dauntless are going to be a dead center right over there. That's why we saw them trying to experiment a little bit with, trying to get the way of the land essentially. And you got the Moneymaker still doing their thing. Wanted on the hill. A lot of teams just pretty much setting up to see where this next circle takes us. For the time being, everybody's safe and sound.
Yeah, a lot of kind of but it looks like SON, this is going to be on the far southeastern edge of the circle, getting some really good shots going in on the number 1 Titan Series female roster competing tonight on the new map Rondo, getting unfortunately pieced apart, and unfortunately it's SON, the kings of these sort of split holds that they do. Wolf being able to catch off one of the solos of the Angel squad, so really just, I think it was more coming into the circle, a hard kind of spot for you to really find, and the circle shift unfortunately is not going to be playing favorites to anyone, it seems here, Dave, because it centers up onto Coops and Friends. The rest of these teams, I'm looking all the way up on that northwestern edge.
Here we go.
Burn and Silence, Zero Fox Given, even Zefon's team here, they're all going to have to start battling for their spots.
Yeah, this is going to be Team Washed up against Liquid over here. It looks like Team Washed going to be right there on the edge. I love these broken walls they have to work with. That Dacia is going to be missing a tire, but we can still reposition it just a little bit. Get that extra cover. So Liquid, they are going to have to move into the zone, and their easiest pathway in is taking the fight right through Team Wash. Just now we're looking at Chief on live YouTube trying to reposition that vehicle and immediately getting domed.
Yeah, unfortunately they're the squad as well, where I think one of them's off in Narnia somewhere, forever trying to hold this sort of spearhead position solo. But if you're the squad that loses the player early on, you gotta get the shots to connect, and forever, man, absolutely beaming one of the Liquid members. The rest of the squad now just too afraid to even make the rotation out. But we always talk about it, Dave, it's never a straight 4v4. There's always another eye in the sky looking at you. That's going to be Crows shooting them from the backside. Moneymakers making their presence known now known, and with Team Wash, they had the knocks going their way, the Thirst coming in kind of clutch in some regards, but with them on the edge here, I'd honestly be worried about Moneymakers being the squad that got the knock on you.
Yeah, it looks like Liquid are going to be pushing up here just a little bit as well. Looks like Shifon Forever going to be thirsted, so looks like they're going to be missing a member here. Shifon, by the way, makes the best guides, so if you're looking for some guides, go peep Omi's channel. Top tier content over there, but let's see if they can be top tier here in this Rondo Royale as a trio. Got the grenade, we're gonna be cooking it. Chiefon live, YT gonna be pushing the pin back in, just kind of wait to see where the Liquid squad ends up rotating through.
Yeah, it looks like they went all the way east, and one of the squads just on the end, I believe that's going to be Next Gen, holding just onto that that southern edge, and with it being a duo, they full sent in through the compound, not actually getting knocked just yet, I believe, but rest of this action, Dave, it's starting to commence all around the edge. Dauntless, yeah, they took the fight with Burn and Silence in the center, but that fight kind of wrapping up underway immediately. It allows them to really turn their sights outwards towards the likes of Team Washed or Moneymakers. So these other teams, yeah, the circle shift, we're talking, it's only stage 4. Dave, a lot of these circle shifts have really kind of just been a nail biter for some of these teams, and now it's not going to be stopping anytime soon. The circle shift does come close, and it centers up. Every team, Dave, is going to have to start moving forward.
This is looking like a dauntless win. I mean, they have not had to move at all. They have been just dead center in some hard cover for a hot minute now, and doing a great job at defending it. So we'll have to see later down the road where they end up, if they get the winner chicken dinner. Look at this, these plants, you know, this little bamboo action right there provides some pretty cool cover, really allowing Team Wash to maneuver this compound, something that you don't really see on other maps, you know, just having this nice foliage right outside the building to really be able to make some plays happen. I love how tall they are and how dark and thick and lush they are. I mean, we do see next gen taking shots through it and all, right? But
yeah,
they don't really have the exact location of Team Washed.
Yeah, I think it can make for a lot of. I think it can make for a lot of really cool moments too, potentially. Where if you're holding this sort of split around the compound, you could potentially see later on them rotating out to that bamboo foliage and kind of proning it out, ratting in it, going for that sort of bait play, seeing if you can catch someone kind of out in the open around the wall, because the foliage itself, I mean, you're talking about it, yeah, you could shoot through it, but it's so hard to kind of see and be able to really pinpoint where it's at. It's that sort of natural cover that a lot of players, at least back in the day, used to love to do. Obviously Sixless, Pyra, you know, some really big names from back in the day used to love using the terrain to their advantage. I'd love to see that kind of, I'd love to see that terrain usage kind of really come back and make for some cheeky angles kind of to happen. But now with cheekiness, it's going to be full on aggression. Zero Fox given, taking the initiative towards the Moneymaker. Looks like they're all splitting up, some shots coming down, big hits from Crow. And with it being in the blue zone, I'm not sure if Zero Fox has the camera pack to really be able to kind of come in solid with this HP, but now it's going to be the next site's turn. Half HP on it, not going to find the M4 shots. Needs to back up for the team support. And now, Dave, we're talking about a full 4v4 fight on the mountain.
Yeah, what a right here. Fate going to be jumping on the backseat of the buggy with the shotgun, but falling off a little too early. Mistakes have been made. Bot from Zero Fox, giving the last player alive, going to be traded out right there. This is going to be right here on the edge of the play zone. What a skirmish right there. What a mess, honestly. I mean, it was all over the place.
Yeah, and you were talking about hold out next gen, just trying to make it, and that's actually going to be a full wipe now, with, I believe if I'm seeing this right, they being a 4-squad finish. One of these teams going to be down to a trio, the rest having full 4-man. So Coops and Friends, most wanted, they're going to be holding each other's hands up on that northeastern edge, while Dauntless has all of the control on the southern side. And Rob, he's going to find the nade this time. Doran, he's not going to be having any sort of safety net to his name. And now with most wanted off that knock, they're going for the full on aggression. They're looking for the damage, looking for those eliminations. And yeah, Dauntless, they've got 8 elims, but they've got to start looking for their positioning in the zone, Dave. They cannot be going full aggression.
Yeah, here's the cover too, coming down from above. Cloud's going to be using those utilities to get some better angles and allow his squad mates to push forward into the circle. So such a clutch piece of equipment to really hold on to, especially in late game. We were talking about that in the pre-show, and we're seeing it firsthand how useful it can be.
Yeah, I think especially in this spot, we've got the dip. As long as he's able to wait until the circle closes, be able to stay on his 2 feet. Klaus, at least, he's able to use this cover to his complete advantage. All these players will just be kind of forced to pay attention to him, to give him the respect. And yeah, Moneymakers, they used the cover there, but unfortunately, they didn't have the offing on the side. They didn't have that full cover, that full support for their cement blocks. And now we're seeing, I think Dauntless even called down even more on that same position. So even more cover for them to be able to use in that dip thing.
This is great, man. I love to see this these new mechanics really be utilized here, especially in a late game situation. But let's see, 2 teams to go. Looks like Klaus, the strongest player here, at least this match, 5 eliminations, was knocked out. We see Grenades getting chunked over there, looking for the follow-up onto XP3 with their 3 eliminations. We're going to be pulling back here just a little bit, going towards safety. Get the heal up here as Bob the Shredder is going to be knocked down and out. Wancho looking for an off angle, looking to push up this hill just a little bit. As this dip to work with for the time being. You see the dip was created from the grenades from earlier, so is a little bit elevated. Wancho is going to be really close within grenade range, looking to get the bounce. That one cooked just a little too much, but just look at the terrain right now.
Yeah, and I mean, the Dauntless has to crest over this. They didn't throw their cover deep enough for them to be able to really move forward on this, while SGG, Coops and friends, they've been able to kind of just sit back and allow these sort of dips to be created for them. And one big thing, Dave, that's crazy about these sort of cinder blocks being here now is the fact that you're not able to fully drive through smokes like that. You don't know if there's hard cover in the smokes. You might get baited going for some sort of vehicle run over knock. So the game plan, the change, the mechanics of these fights really gets changed up. And now we see it. Wancho getting the opening knock on the Dauntless. Can Dauntless get the return they can? And with it being 2v2, Dave, it all comes down to this.
2v2, Wancho with the Molotov right there, right behind the boulder. XP3 avoiding the spread right there. Klaus was able to get picked up. Now going for the heal as the advantage when it comes to sight lines, though. Wancho still looking to reposition. Has another utility to drop down some cover from above. Maybe, you know, pulling that out as a little bit of a bait here to make Dauntless think that they're going that direction. Meanwhile, Wancho's going the opposite direction. So looks like the pickup onto Dirt to Dirt was successful. 3v2 situation. Wancho salty. Oh, actually 3v3, which is straight up 3v3. Both teams got the reset.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Dauntless has any sort of, I guess you could say, lethal utility they could use. I'm only seeing the smokes come into play. They can maybe kind of make some confusion, get up onto potentially the hard cover they called in. They actually had one themselves. So everyone really trying to make use of all of their backpack space, being able to come in and really kind of find the shots. And now Dauntless, they're making their move, Dave. They're looking for the action on the tree.
There it comes. Stage 8 clock is a ticking. Dirt to Dirt in the soft cover. Immediately spotted, tagged, and bagged. XP3 calling for him to pull back. Clouds in the blue as well. Taking out XP3, the last one alive. Getting a nice little elimination of carry on top. But it's a 2v1 situation. And right there, that's how it's done. Coops and friends get the winner chicken dinner.
And by the way, they got, I believe, 2, if not all 3 of their knocks with the new weapon, the JS9. So Rondo really coming in full force. Rondo! Or at least Coops and friends. And for those players and stuff like that, we know a lot of them have played since the get-go, right? Since the beginning of PUBG Mobile. We're coming up right onto, I believe, that 7-year mark, right? For PUBG Mobile being out and the likes of it. So Rondo, I mean, it always adds that new extra layer that everyone's been wanting to the game, right? Yeah, we enjoy the skins, we love seeing it and stuff like that, but some people just love those raw mechanics that come into play, and for the most part, it seems like Coops and friends were able to do just that. Let's bring up that winner chicken dinner stat line for Coops and friends, Dave, because you and I'll say it every time, we're the numbers guys. We like seeing it for the most part. And for Coops and friends, with Coops being such a big name himself, we're wanting to see what the squad was able to put up.
11 eliminations for Coops and friends, 2,426 damage done. Coops and friends showing up in that late game with the almost whole squad alive. They only lost one essentially, right? Because 23 minutes is when they lost their first member right there. So Coops and friends, 11 eliminations. Dauntless, 12 eliminations. They also had around 2,800 damage done. So pretty top heavy game number 3 right there. And we were talking about it because it was like, what, 20 minutes into the game, and there were still a ton of teams alive right there. So Dauntless and Coops and friends really just gobbling it up.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to have to see the match results right now to see kind of what really was the digest and that sort of key turning point, because like you were saying, it was Dauntless, it was Coops and friends soaking up the elims. But I'm also seeing on that 3-4 mark, Dave, most wanted moneymakers there would pick up a few solid elims. But with it being so top heavy, these top 4, even we could say 5 teams getting so much of the elims, that this right side is no surprise that we're seeing barely any numbers being put up on the leaderboard.
Yeah, just really top heavy game. So that's going to shake up leaderboards, at least when it comes to Coops and friends right there. But Dauntless, they've been pretty consistent here tonight when it comes to eliminations, most wanted, and same can be said with the money makers, right? So next gen, I believe this might have been their best game when it comes to like getting eliminations and points per game, with 8 right there. So this has been a team that has been just slowly climbing up, kind of lurking in the shadows. And honestly, all it takes is one really massive winner chicken dinner to get them right back into the conversation.
Yeah, and one team I really just enjoyed seeing that last game was Zero Fox Given. Obviously, they only got those 3 elims, the 1 placement point, but onto the team that won the very first match of the Rondo Royale, Inco Gaming. Their full aggression, sending vehicle players that are rotating around them. They were not sitting back. They were not playing passive. They were looking for the action on the edge of the circle, and that's the way you got to play it, especially with the point format like it is right now, right? First place, 10 points, 1 elimination per, or 1 point per elimination. It all comes down to if you're able to soak up points when you don't get the circles. And for the most part, a lot of these squads, they're essentially new faces for the most part for me, but I'm enjoying what I'm seeing for the most part out of these teams, Dave.
Yes, sir. Rondo Royale LLC, Clint Productions right there. $5,000 on the line. We got 2 more maps to go here tonight, and then 5 tomorrow night. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're loving Rondo Royale, hit that like button. Let us know in the chat who you are cheering for. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
Meets modern aesthetic beneath clear skies and sunsets. Jadina City is a dense urban sprawl of towering skyscrapers and abundant supplies. The city's prosperity flourishes under dazzling neon lights. A bridge crosses the entire city, and there are escalators and moving walkways all over to help you get around. All cities are surrounded by suburbs. Floating on water at the southern end of Rondo are Rinjiang's restaurant and luxurious waterfront residences, which offer a great view of the docks. Rondo is also home to many industries. The local NeoX factory is one of them. They manufacture all kinds of vehicles that then make their debut on the test track. Take a break from the modern opulence of the city to visit locations like Tin Long Garden or Yulin and enjoy the beautiful scenery with Eastern-style architecture. Or head to Stadium and Jiaotin to enjoy some theater and a sports event. Rondo has lots to offer no matter where you go. In addition to these diverse landscapes, Rondo also has mechanics that make it unique. When you enter Rondo, you may be randomly assigned to one of 2 planes with the rest of your team. Spreading players out like this increases the overall utilization of the map. Shops in Rondo are also unlike any other. There are basic stores and premium stores. Basic stores are common and can carry supplies, vehicles, or supply blind boxes. Its currency can be obtained by selling firearm attachments or gold bars. Gold bars are obtained from safes located throughout the map. Premium stores only appear in Rinjiang and Luohuashan. They carry airdrop supplies, so if you're skilled enough, definitely go for them. Beware that they're patrolled by powerful guards that you must defeat before approaching. The JS9 will drop from regular guards, and the MG3 airdrop weapon will drop from commanders. You can also loot their helmets and armor to dress up as them and impress other players. The presence of these guards makes it very risky to land near premium stores at the start of a match. You'll likely be defeated because you won't have any gear, so tread carefully. Rondo also has a unique terrain destruction mechanic. Here, terrain can be destroyed with pickaxes, grenades, or vehicle explosions. When you're fighting in an area with minimal cover, you can use your surrounding terrain to create cover. The maximum destruction depth is 1.3 meters. Note that only the ground can be destroyed. Buildings, water, and cement are indestructible. While terraforming, all destructible objects within range will also be destroyed. There is a special area in Rondo called the EMP zone. Neither you nor your surroundings will take any physical damage here, but electronic reticles on scopes and sights get deactivated, and vehicles with engines will cease operating. Stores, recall towers, and the signal jammer backpack will also stop working. When the EMP zone appears, there will be a notification on the screen. It will close and stop spawning after the third time the blue zone closes in and will not appear again. Rondo has some interesting scenery objects as well. You can use escalators and moving walkways to get around faster, but if you travel against its direction, your speed will be reduced. There are birds in cages around the map that will call out when they sense movement. Destroy the cages to set the birds free. Destructible bamboo can be found all over Rondo, which can be damaged by throwables and vehicles, adding another layer of complexity to battles. Naturally, Rondo also has new weapons and items. The JS9 is a new type of single-shot submachine gun with a full auto mode. It boasts a fast rate of fire with excellent damage output and stable recoil. It is compatible with all SMG muzzles and magazines and is extremely accessible, making it suitable for all players. Stun gun. Any target hit will be temporarily blinded and immobilized, unable to retaliate. It takes up the pistol slot, so you can bring it along without sacrificing a main weapon slot. You could also travel with your teammates and use the stun gun to immobilize enemies for your teammates to take out, maximizing the weapon's full potential. The pickaxe is a new melee weapon available in Rondo, and it's quite versatile. You can use it to destroy terrain for more flexibility in battle. With it, the battleground belongs to you. The emergency cover flare is a new throwable. A few seconds after using it, 2 large, triangular cover objects will fall from the sky. The objects can't be destroyed, making them ideal protection against gunfire. However, note that they can deal heavy damage to any player or vehicle when they land, so don't get hit. You also can't use this item indoors. The Signal Jammer backpack has the capacity of a level 2 backpack, but it is also capable of withstanding 100 blue zone damage. When its durability is depleted, you will start taking blue zone damage as if it were a regular level 2 backpack. This feature makes it great for exploring outside the play zone in the early game and facing off in the final play zone. In addition to these items, there's the new Battle Ready Kit. This advanced consumable will restore all your health and energy so you're fit to dive straight back into battle. You'll find the new Forest Ghillie suit available as an airdrop. Equip it to become one with Rondo's greenery and sneak up on your enemies. In addition to all of this, Rondo introduces 2 new vehicles to the fray. The Pico Bus is a new 6-seater vehicle that runs on battery. It boasts impressive acceleration and is extremely quiet. It gets moving quickly, which consumes a lot of battery. But don't worry, the Pico Bus has an energy recovery trait that allows it to recover and store energy when braking or decelerating, which extends its endurance. The Blanc is a new SUV that seats 4 players and has a storage compartment that can carry loads of emergency supplies. Rondo has tons more content for you to discover, so head to PUBG Mobile and check it out now!
Try something new, Pico Bus. Battery-powered extraordinary torque. How fast does it take to accelerate from 0 to 100? Give it a try. Intimidate your enemies. Check this out. Power up with a stun gun. Immobilize the enemy and obstruct their vision. One more thing, got blue zone anxiety? No worries, not with this. Come to Rondo and give it a try.
Rondo is officially here in PUBG Mobile version 3.7. It has unique scenery and loads of stores. Let's go over them together. To start off, we have the Basic Store, which can be found all over. At the Basic Store, you can purchase supplies and supply blind boxes and sell attachments. Then there's the Garage Store, which only appears by the side of the road. It's like the Basic Store, except you can purchase vehicles from it as well. If you need to get around, you know where to look. Finally, there's the much rarer Premium Store that only appears in Lo Huaxing and Rinjiang. The Premium Store has all the features of the Basic Store and Garage Store, with the added option of purchasing airdrop weapons. Gaining access to the Premium Store, however, is easier said than done. It's surrounded by powerful guards. You must defeat them all to get to the store. So if you want to get your hands on advanced equipment, you'll have to challenge the guards. That's all for this introduction to Rondo stores. I hope they bring you more fun and strategic options.
Version 3.7 introduces a brand new map, Rondo.
Hello and welcome back everyone to Rondo Royale, the first ever official PUBG Mobile event for the new map edition, Rondo, which I think for you and I, Dave, is our personal favorite map so far in the game. And maybe it's because we've played the other maps just so much, you know, a few hundred or even thousand times, to say the least, over these last 7 years. But Rondo, it's really bringing back a lot of old nostalgia trips, at least that I have. I'm not sure if it's the same for you.
Yeah, listen, Vikendi is always going to hold a special place in my heart. Honestly, was one of my favorite maps when it comes to competitive play. I loved it so much I had to get rid of it, right? Because I was just obsessed with it. Livik, I like Livik because that introduced like the monster trucks and, you know, definitely my favorite vehicle in the game. But I'm thinking now with Rondo, I'm really feeling like the destructible terrain. I feel like that adds such a unique aspect to the game. Plus those deployable hardcover concrete cinder blocks from the sky, you know, the PUBG mobile gods just raining down cover right there. And I think that last match, that last match was definitely like a prime example on how that cover can truly be utilized in the final battles of the games, right? So it was beautiful to watch because we saw at least 3 of them called in, and well, that's what we love to see here for the first ever Rondo Royale Esports event ever for PUBG Mobile.
Yeah, and Rondo, I mean, you and I, we love it so much. Luckily, they're not taking it away from us just yet, Dave, because this is going to be match 4 of 5. So this one, and then one more after this, and then it's not going to be just today's games, Dave. Tomorrow, we got 5 more Rondo, baby.
5 more Rondos. As if 1 Rondo wasn't enough, we got 5 Rondos. So, ladies and gentlemen, game number 4 of the evening. Dauntless, they've been cooking. Dauntless have been cooking. Coops and friends finally coming up on a really good win. So hopefully that will get that momentum flowing back on this squad. Still looking for Zero Fox given. They had a decent match, right? But they really showed that they can stand their ground, honestly, in my opinion. There's a ton of people, though, that just had their names and wanted to take them out, unfortunately. I got to see the Zombie Boys, though. You know, I'm always gassing up teams. Zombie Boys have been one of my really tried and true squads that I hold dear to my heart. I mean, heck, going back to Titan series, the Zombie Boys was my call. And they you know, they've had their moments in the spotlight. So Zombie Boys, I'm putting you on notice. All right, this is the game. You got to start showing up.
See, I'm happy you talked about him, Dave, because I thought you honestly threw in the towel with him and only went in for the Zero Fox Given squad. You know, you do one stuff, you know, you do a few days with Bella Fox, and then you're rooting for a team, which I love, but you weren't showing any love to the Zombie Boys in the last 2 games. So I'm honestly feeling that they're going to pop off and make you really wish that you're cheering them on sooner in the day for them to kind of have that feeling going on. But for these teams right now, we saw the playing path, right? These squads, unfortunately, most of them will be out of this circle shift all the way onto this eastern edge. And one team that's kind of really enjoying it's going to be the Wash squad. Zfon's team that's all the way out there on the Eastern Edge. Unfortunately, right as I talk about them, Coops and Friends is murdering TCC in a vehicle, but a little bit
Of
of caster
course.
curse, a little bit of
Of
caster
course,
curse going
man.
on. Wancho,
That
though, I mean, he's
Wancho out
driving around.
here.
Yeah, he's trying to drive around, but no weapon even to his name, just the vehicle, to say the least. He's not
What
wanting
a
to hit that
skin.
seat swap just
Yeah,
yet. And
what a
I was kind of,
beautiful looking
I don't
car.
know if I like the stripes on it, but I like the lights, the little like curves it's got in the front and back.
You don't like the stripes, but you
No,
like the lights.
yeah,
It's
I do.
take it or leave it, man. Take it or leave it.
No, it's an all or nothing thing.
All or nothing. I mean, look, you
Nothing
got the
then.
NOS on the back, the boosters.
Give me the bus.
You
Give me
know?
the bus then. I'll get in the other vehicle. Give me the bus then.
Bus all day. Wancho's got that knife out, ready to go. In the elimination feed, it's already popping off here. Players spent a lot of the early game on map number 3, really exploring the map, really feeling it out,
Yeah.
seeing what they like and what what areas they need to practice on, essentially. But come this game number 4, they are locked and they are loaded. Looking at Extreme Slayers coming off of their gauntlet podium finish, right? I know you follow them a lot during the Gauntlet series here. What is like a key takeaway from Extreme Slayers that you've noticed?
The main thing is they really are strong at keeping all 4 players up. If they don't lose a player early on, they win that first initial squad wipe, not having anyone go down and out. It really sets them up for that dirt ball that I like to kind of go in with and have them really kind of start steamrolling the rest of the lobby. Now, unfortunately, for Extreme Slayers, it doesn't seem like this map has favored them too much in that mid to late game section. They've been struggling for the most part in getting up into that sort of top 3 finish, I guess you could say. But with them taking their fight against X-Force right now, another team that was in the gauntlet, unfortunately, I believe they actually were 1 point short of qualifying to that top 8 division into Titan Series. So a really sort of heartbreak situation that happened in the gauntlet, now having to face the champions. And unfortunately, if I was having to pick favorites aside to this, almost, I'm always going to be picking Extreme Slayers here because the team synergy with the squad, Dave. You like that communication from Burn and Silence earlier on. Extreme Slayers honestly takes it to another level when you watch them play.
All right. Well, I haven't seen that level yet here tonight, if I'm being honest with you. So I'm hoping that this is their game, that the Enigma buff comes into play.
Yeah.
And we start to see them pop off because Hoyuya, Poppy Sour, Remix, these are players that, I'm definitely familiar with and I've seen them really perform well in the past. So really curious to see how they could show up here on the Rondo Royale out here. And well, I think taking out X-Force here early on is the start they need for their Rondo matches.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, for the Extreme Slayers, I'm seeing it right on the edge of the screen. We can actually see it now. I believe that's going to be SON straight on Nepal, starting to hold up a little bit of a camp outside the city. So neither of these squads in the POI recognizing another team is craning down onto them. And I'm not sure, actually. It looks like Frankie maybe have actually just knocked one of the players on X-Force. So now the players are starting to really worry, is this a fight we're willing to take? Because this isn't in circle. This is going to be all the way up on that northern edge where we saw all that fighting happening with BIS in match number 2. Unfortunately, you're going to have to deal with another team, Hawk, and craning you down while you try to make the rotation. And it looks like actually Extreme Slayers, they're going to be taking the fight.
Hawk and craning you down. That's a new one, man. You're just throwing all
the birds, the
animal.
You talked about the bird cages here, Dave. That's how they get it down.
Let them free. There's bird cages. You gotta let the birds free here in Rondo. So you got the dirt balls. Another, another thing I need to dive deep. We need the whiteboard, honestly, for the dirt ball, because I need to know what's up with that. But like you said, straight out of Nepal, Frankie doing some scouting over here, relaying that information back to his squad mates, be like, hey boys, there's 2 teams over here. Maybe we want to get into a skirmish ourselves, maybe third party this one. I think for them, straight out of Nepal. that would be the call, honestly, because they need some points to really play catch up on the overall leaderboard. So let's see what they can accomplish.
Accomplishing a lot of these teams. Obviously, we're talking we've only played 3 total matches, but with there being 10, at least for this first day, you're already halfway over with the matches you have under your belt. You need to kind of finish strong if you haven't already with these final 2 remaining matches. And with this sort of stuff, obviously, we're playing a battle royale here, Dave. Everyone is going to be on a timer. And you're talking about SON. They were talking about those 2 teams, you know, looking to fight, go for the third party.
Yeah.
Looks like BIS as well as another squad having to rotate around this. So 5 out of 16 teams kind of maybe converging all around the POI here. It's really going to kind of come down to when these sort of engagements happen, the timings for it, and who's really able to kind of keep all 4 players standing in the end.
Yes, sure. That's a lot of teams. So, God, Nemo, 1 grenade and a dream right there. Dream to help his squad mates open up the doorway and really allow them the window to breach that stairwell. They got free point over here. So I still see Stroud and Paul over there just kind of lurking in the distance, waiting, buying their time. This is going to be up there in the north, by the way. So this is not in the circle. Not yet. And, well, it's not going to be, actually. My bad. But to make matters worse, though, there's another team just kind of rolling by up there. So we essentially got 4 teams up here kind of fighting tooth and nail for a chance to make it into circle number 1 down in the south.
Yeah, circle 1. I mean, a lot of these circle shifts have been just brutal for the most part for some players. Unfortunately, just not able to get around this sort of early game position. I've really enjoyed seeing a lot of, at least from the Titan series and the Gauntlet squads, of being able to get into those late game positions, whether it's them maybe having new players or maybe it's just a different name under their belt. Even on the new map, they've been able to really kind of find their stride on the map that is Rondo, and it shows that they love the game of PUBG Mobile. If you know the ins and outs as much as this for a new map, it shows that you just have that drive for the game. And Rondo hopefully flares that up, that sort of fire under your seat to really get you back into the heat of things for PUBG Mobile. And that's what we want, right? 7 years. It's hard to keep the game interactive and stuff like that. And PUBG Mobile every year just continues to bring it back better and better and better than ever for the most part.
Yeah. We'll talk about Fire Remix, tossing out those Molotovs. Remix now with the last grenade. And now here comes the blue zone. Going to start to chunk them down. So now Extreme Slayers, they really don't have the time to wait this one out any longer. Same could be said for Straight on the Ball. They do want to third party this one and get some eliminations on the board here. Remix is going to be looking to breach now with the UMP Hayuya with the M249. Poppy Sour, little shotgun slug to the dome right there. So 2 eliminations going the way of Extreme Slayers here so far. Not looking too good for the X-Force.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just Alim now. He's got a nade himself, but with the blue zone ticking, he's going to be feeling the brunt of it. And as long as they're able to swarm him before SON gets any meaningful shots off, the 4v1, at least the 1v4 from Alim does not seem likely, to say the least. But it's always the possibility the push comes through. The S12Ks are out. It's all about how to connect, worrying about the door push, but the timing comes down. Yeah, Poppy Sour goes down, but it's only a knock. The first will not come into play. Extreme Slayers now 3 total eliminations to their belt. 3.
You need that jammer backpack, honestly. That would help right now. That would help big time. But straight out of Nepal, homies are just they're circling their prey of Extreme Slayers right now. Maybe they got the jammer backpacks, but we'll get back to that here because we got the Moneymakers up against Inco, 2 of the strongest teams, most aggressive squads in the lobby right now, clashing.
Yeah, Horns, unfortunately, run away and just give it up to Moneymakers to get down to Baton, getting knocked after finishing 2 players from Inco Gaming. And honestly, it looked like they were maybe just driving next to each other, a really awkward moment on rotation. But now it kind of comes down to these squads, really kind of who's able to hit the shots the most. And unfortunately, Inco Gaming this time around, that first match was a winner for them, but unfortunately now falling short against some of these other squads.
Yeah, man, it happens. It is what it is. 3 eliminations going the way to the money makers, baby. Oh man, that straight out of Paul thing, that is still going on over there, by the way. I don't know who's gonna walk out unscathed at this point. Meanwhile, the other 13 teams are concentrating on securing themselves a nice position in the new circle, as we're looking at the moneymakers still feeling pretty good after their last little run through with Inko and crew. Gonna be getting some loot, swapping some vehicles, but what a match here so far. You can definitely feel that these teams, these players are a lot more comfortable now that we are in game number 4 compared to game 1, game 2 of today.
Yeah, I think that's really just a show of you just want to get comfortable with, maybe it's just you don't want to fight off drop, maybe it's just your rotation was a little bit smoother going into that 3rd game, and now with the 4th game, you're really able to kind of let loose and understand what kind of is at stake, because a lot of these teams, they weren't close to each other in these first few matches. We're seeing Most Wanted versus BIS taking fights in the center of circle. Before that was always on the edge of the map. So these teams, even with them kind of finding their footing, being able to change up their dynamic of how they want to play Rondo with the new additions of weapons or vehicles or even the terrain play, it's honestly a sight to see, to say the least, coming from NA's best squads.
And it's only the start. Only the start of our exploration together on Rondo. Most Wanted, Snow. It'd be tossing some utility out here, some smoke, making sure to loot that crate safe and sound, playing it extra careful here. I'm assuming there's going to be somebody in the area possibly overlooking their current position, so better safe than sorry, as they say. Looks like Stratton Paul finally moved off of the whatever you call it at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, what would you call that? I mean, they spent so much time over there. What is that play called here from your perspective? The previous Esports pro.
I think that's someone fell asleep on their phone. I think it's just someone really just maybe stepped away and had a lunch break in the middle of that. Yeah. Or maybe they all just had 4 jammer packs, Dave. Maybe that was it. Rondo. They could have potentially. They wouldn't have eaten the meds as much as maybe other maps would have. So SON getting away with it maybe. But I think it was maybe someone stepped away. You don't want to leave them behind, just no man left behind in some of these situations. But now both those teams, it looks like actually Extreme Slayers might be choosing to take the same bridge as SON. So it might be a little too early to speak on the matter with a bit of a camp going on. But it's a lot more respectable now in our eyes if SON does it while they're not taking the blue zone.
A lot more respectable, and that's what we're out here doing, man. These teams out here trying to get that respect for Rondo. So Rondo deserves it, as we're going to be looking over here at Angels Esports, one of the top teams in the lobby, coming in as the previous winner of the Titan Series Women's Division. Showing up here in this lobby, looking to continue their success in PUBG Mobile. Looks like they did lose 2 on the pull-up here. Looks like they're scouting, just not working out here tonight. Liquid already set up in a defensive position, unfortunately, over here on the edge. Down here in the south, it is just the Clown Fiesta. We got teams all over the place, just trying to survive here. The squad I'm looking at, Dauntless. You got Bob up in the front line doing some scouting. I believe it's going to be next gen in Bob's sight lines. So once when Bob has your name on his list, there's no escaping him, man. He's like the Tombinator.
Yeah. The Bob.
Tombinator? What is it?
The Bobernator. Something like that. The Bobernator.
The Bobernator.
The Bobernator. That's a good one.
The Bobernator.
Unfortunately, though, you were talking about Dauntless. They're actually not going to be in the circle holding this edge play on to next gen. So both the teams, they're going to have to rotate in. And next gen, not realizing this, I think, yet, but Coops and friends were in the compound with them now, finally leaving their mark elsewhere on the map. And this is kind of the awkward part, right? We're in one of those parts of the map where there's not a lot of terrain. What are you wanting to play? What position you want to get at? And they're trying to find their spot, but it just seems like everywhere there's a Moneymakers player. Just Rex just absolutely eating one of the players' face now.
Really showing up here tonight, and we still got, I want to say, yes, we got one more game and then we're officially halfway done with the event, right?
Yeah.
But there's still a couple squads that I just want to see some glimmer of light from here on day number one. Yeah, we still got all day tomorrow to really show up, but it just, to me, I think if you've been having an off day, I think to end on a high note is really what the play is here for this last and final map.
Well, I mean, my names that are coming to mind is obviously J7, maybe even X-Force.
He's missing a player last game, J7. What's going on? He's missing a player. Sub me in, coach. Sub me in.
We'll get another one of the old heads in there.
I got the map feed. Trust me, I'll be good.
Oh, man, that'd be hilarious. Now, luckily for these players, Obviously, we're on the delay, so these guys aren't able to be scheming too much about it. But for the likes of it, obviously, with the new map, maybe it's just a tough learning curve for some players, right? Some of these teams not being as experienced as others, not able to work out the kinks in the armor, per se, of the armor set that is, I guess we could say,
it's a
Rondo
nice armor
and-
set. It
Yeah,
is a nice
it's
armor
nice.
set. It's a nice armor set, man. So I mean, is that the room you're in? You're in your armor
Yeah,
room. So
my armor
behind
room.
you, outside the camera angle, is just a full armor set.
Oh, yeah. Listen, we'll get the whiteboard right here behind me. We'll get the armor set
The
just
dirt ball
maybe I'll wear
breakdown.
one. Yep.
What is the dirt
on the
ball
whiteboard.
breakdown? What
Look,
is that? I've been
The
meaning to
dirt
ask you.
ball, it's like the mud ball almost, you could think. Just a wad of whatever on the ground, and it's just you start at the top because you're the reigning champion, and you go downhill and it gets bigger and bigger. And it's essentially the snowball idea, Dave. Crazy concept, but the whiteboard makes it a lot easier to explain.
So is it a good thing or bad thing?
It's a good thing,
Okay,
even though
good
dirt's got a negative connotation to it.
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
thing. It's
A
a
lot
good
of
thing.
a lot of games I play, I'm in the dirt division, so I'll just start looking at it. Hey, it's
Yeah,
a good thing.
yeah,
According
yeah.
to Enigma, I'm in the dirt
Yeah, it's
league.
a good thing. Come on. Of course
Yeah, who
it is.
cares about platinum and grandmaster and all that good
Nope.
stuff? As long
Dirt.
as you're in dirt, you're good, baby. Joe Dirt did it first, honestly.
Yeah.
You know who Joe Dirt is? You know who Joe
I've
Dirt
heard
is?
of it. I did not get the reference that much though. I've only heard of the name.
Whoa.
That's the most you'll get from me. That's the most you'll get from me.
Oh,
The name
my
and that's it.
goodness. You want
What
to
are
be
you?
my Rondo brother, and you don't know, and you're talking about dirt
Nope,
all
nope.
night long, but
Tomorrow
you don't know
we'll have it
Joe
dialed in,
Dirt.
Dave. No. Just the
Oh,
name. I can't
let's
put
get
a face
into
to
the
it.
game, bro. We need to get into the game at this point. All right, game
Yeah.
number 5, Rondo Royale. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're only seeing the one playing path coming here for the final match of day 1. But tomorrow, we're obviously going to expect to see it at least a few times. I think that's probably one of my more favorite parts when we look at the map, not just the terrain and, you know, the bamboo foliage and all that you're raving about. I like the fact that there's 2 playing paths.
Two.
Not 1, but 2. For us to be able to have that diversity and you to really question if a spot maybe is safer than what you think it is. And we saw that obviously with, what was it, match 3 with 4 squads landing all the way up there in the north at the same POI, because one of them, they were so late to the POI that they didn't see the other 3 teams were already landed inside the city, which is a crazy concept. But
Crazy.
for Rondo, I'm all for it right now.
Yeah, you know what? Finally, we're gonna see a team drop in the city here, Extreme Slayers. So they got one of their dudes all the way up there at the top. Oh no! Hold on, no, we're parachuting. Okay.
Oh,
Wait
wait a second! What?
Ain't no way. What? We don't even
wait.
see what
Oh,
happened.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness!
So
They
he
they
did
fell.
get knocked. He
They
did
got
get
knocked.
knocked.
Clip
At least he was-
Productions,
yeah, come on.
LLC. He got me good, dude. He saw me like, oh. Oh man. So hey, we're finally seeing some city action here, though. Love to see it. Hopefully the circle favors this. Honestly.
Yeah, bring it back. Well, obviously, I'd love the test track or maybe the stadium if it was a finish. I know there's some weird kind of buildings going on in some of those spots, or at least kind of layouts for it. And for these first few circle shifts, we really do see it as well being a really strong position that some of these teams choose to hold. Unfortunately, it is going to be going southwest. We could potentially see it around this sort of lake right around the center of the circle that leads up from the river. But we're gonna have to put a note in that, Dave, because one of your favorite teams, Zero Fox Given, taking the initiative against, I believe it's Next Gen in this POI.
Next gen. That's where it's at here. And we were talking in the pre-show here. You know, you just need one good game to end the night off. You know, and that's all we're looking for here. That way, tomorrow we are in a nice spot to really have a positive start to our day here. So that's what I'm looking at here. They're going to be in the Neo X factory, a car factory. This is where all the Neo X vehicles are produced. The Pico bus. This is where it's made, right here in Rondo. So, all right, here we go. an opening knock right there from Zero Fox Given, looking to get a early flush here, hopefully onto next gen, as there's only 2 more next gen players alive.
Yeah, it looks like it was a warehouse building. The rest of the squad was holding 4-0. Fox Given being able to pick off both players through, I believe, either the windows or the roof rafters. To say the least. So now with this being a 3v4 fight, as long as they push together, they can get the wipe, and they do. Thankfully, Pepsi, they got knocked close to being thirsted, but not close enough. All 4 elims for the team, and this is the starting point. This is what you wanted. Hopefully they're able to get some vehicles from the factory to be able to make an early rotation in, because this is their moment, I think, Dave. You've been talking about them. You've been hyping up this idea of the last match. This is looking solid for Zero Fox Given.
Yeah, you just need one good game, and then you're going to be right back into the conversation come tomorrow with the $5,000 on the line. Zombie Boys, same to be said for them. Yes, they just came off of second place. Really clutching it out right there. Ooh, Zombie Boys. Pizza Steve getting eliminated right there, but Zombie Boys able to survive just a little longer up against Chiffon's Team Washed here.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not the only fight even going down. We're talking Burn in Silence against the here, and unfortunately, they were holding strong earlier in the earlier matches in these sort of building spots, but unfortunately, the early drop not favoring them. Full wipe for the team, and for Liquid and Vincere, they've been another one of those squads, right, where we talk about it. They get a few eliminations here and there, but not able to reach that end game per se as consistently as some of these other teams. So hopefully this match as well could potentially be that top 5. And oh yeah, someone's doing it. This is the game. This is the game. We see it. The stun gun comes into play.
Taser Boys. See, if you and I were to make a squad, we'll call it Taser Boys.
The Taser Boys. Okay.
Taser Boys. And that's all we do. We just run around. Okay, so we tase people, but we can also do vehicle runovers. That's right. Taser Boys.
I'll
and pickaxes
for you to vehicle. Well, I wonder who in chat, if you're here in chat, let us know how much damage does the pickaxe do to a player if you hit them with it. I'm wanting to see that over pan throws, over knifing. No, bring out the pickaxe. You're talking about digging bodies in the backyard, Dave. This is how you do it. And you might as well do it when they're alive to add even more salt to the wound.
Pickaxe Boys coming next season to Rondo Royale Season 2.
Coined, so no one steal either of our names.
Yeah,
the Taser or the Pickaxe Boys.
Next season, there's the Pickaxe Boys, but
you gotta ask us to use it.
Ask us. X-Force out here getting a elimination. Okay, it's gonna be Angels, another squad who have been having some difficulties here on Rondo. Now, not exactly sure how much time all these teams, when it comes to like scrimmages and in practice, when it comes to like a competitive setting, a lot of these teams were able to acquire before this event. But one thing I do know is today they got a lot of reps in, right? 5 games, that's a lot. Especially if you go back. Oh, nice shot right there. If you go back, say tomorrow, do a little bit of odd review if you want, right? Kind of review what worked, what didn't work, maybe certain points of interest that you felt comfortable with, and kind of play off of that during the next half of this tournament. I think that's the play, honestly. Yes, I want to see you have a good game number 5, but honestly, if you could just do a little bit of practice odd review, I think would be extremely helpful come into the second half tomorrow.
Yeah, I like how you even pointed out as well, just the point of entry for some teams. It's always new, it's always foreign. You don't know how a full lobby of competitive squads are really going to situate themselves around the map, whether it's in compounds or hillsides. So you being able to really kind of go back through these 5 matches tonight and maybe understand a bit easier of what would make it easier for you to get into the later parts of the circle, it really would weigh itself in gold for the most part. And the points themselves, we see it when it comes to those top 5 squads. A lot of them have been able to keep 3, if not all 4 players remaining. And I think that's kind of the key piece of the cake when it comes to making it in this sort of event, especially for it being the first ever Rondo Royale event. Hopefully, obviously, that there's many more after this. But for Rondo itself, if you're wanting to start off strong, you might as well put in the effort to it goes your way.
Man, I'm gonna fall asleep tonight. I'm gonna be dreaming about Rondo. I already know. Rondo, we're tossing, turning. Rondo.
Rondo.
We said it at least 100 times here tonight. And shout out to everybody who have been watching throughout the evening. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, of course. And we're always open to feedback. Let us know, what do you feel? What are the vibes for the map here?
Yeah.
Talking about vibes, this is one of my favorite areas here with the cherry blossoms, right? I mean, the leaves, and so beautiful, man. Such a nice set in this map here, and Poppy Sour knows just that, you know. Poppy Sour's like, hey, last map of the evening, let's go for a nice little stroll here to the forest.
Yeah,
with Rondo.
They said we have a feeling Dave likes this. Let's toss him one here real quick. Now for me, I mean, this is more up my alley, the random little building off on the water, maybe a little bit of a fishing spot or something, which PUBG hasn't added fishing just yet into the game. We're not getting too fancy with it right now, but unfortunately the shots unfortunately gonna be scaring the their sights boards. Extreme Slayers, Robs being the spearhead kind of right next to Remix and Poppy Sour on the ridgeline. This is one of those spots where it looks like you got to be really careful over peeking here. With there being so many angles, yeah, now SnowX understands any sort of shot's going to draw attention to your position. And for the most part, yeah, most wanted, it looks like they have a great spread, a lot of positioning over these other squads, but you can't watch every angle. There's only 4 players, and every squad's going to have their own 4. I'm really interested in seeing if this fight kind of maybe slows down a lot more, or if it maybe kind of progresses in a way none of these teams want.
Guess that would be cool. You can kind of go fishing, and if you catch something, you can like eat it for like some health, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe like a little bandage, you know, nothing too crazy. But over here, Most Wanted, SnowX on the rooftop here, providing some alternate angles, some support for Robs to really maneuver over here on the side of the hill. Gonna be providing the cover fire. Rob's looking for a grenade entry here. Gonna be tossing it on that knocked player up there, looking for the perfectly cooked grenade. Gonna be going for that follow-up right there. Teammates following suit. So Most Wanted looking to continue game number 5 with their aggression that we saw from them in game number 4.
That looks like AVT situation. Not going to give the cover fire from the compound, and with that last sort of instance, Rob's able to take the 1v1 for free. Most Wanted getting 3 out of 4 of the Extreme Slayers players, all being wiped for the Extreme Slayers squad. And they had a lot of elims, they had a lot of moments that you and I were able to see, but unfortunately not in their favor for Rondo. But Most Wanted, I will give them credit where credit's due. The spread was looking a little dicey in my eyes, but they were able to aggress and kind of capitalize on the opening knock. They were able to give themselves with the spread they had.
I'll let you try, man. Let's see. Talking about trying money makers versus Dauntless here, the rematch. Looks like one of the money makers are going to be immediately thirsted here. Looking to press their luck. Dauntless not really appreciating the scouting right there. It's going to be Bob popping their head out here. Popping their head out. But hey, this is ours. This is our land, brother. Gonna be poking him away. Next circle goes up. Man, that north side.
Yeah.
Wow, so much open terrain here that nobody's utilizing right now, honestly. So it'll be interesting how these teams look to rotate to the south here. Baron Paul coming off of their previous game with 10 eliminations. Pulling up. Casually throwing this compound. Casual right there. Little knock. Dauntless, they are just falling apart. Bob's the last one alive.
Yeah, it looks like Dauntless, they were full watch moneymakers. When are you ever going to expect Wolf to just full send into your compound with the vehicle as a solo of all things? And with the nades coming down, I believe actually moneymakers wipe SON here. So really just a tragic story to say the least for the likes of moneymakers, or excuse me, for the likes of the other squad. And now these teams, there's all this action going on. The southern side of the zone, Dave, was where all these teams were kind of camping out on. The circle shift, they're making everyone want to fight at this compound.
Ooh, Zero Fox given. They got a couple eliminations. They're feeling warmed up. They're ready to go. They're juiced up right here. Deep peek action right there with the pre-fire through the smoke. Looks like Pepsi was traded out in the back line, but Bob with a nice little trade jumping over the broken wall. The shot with the M4 swap into the ACM. The lean peak running out of bullets though right there at the end was traded on out. One more player for Zero Fox Given trying to get these grenades out right now. Peps is like, he's on me, toss it on me, get the final explosion, and you get it. Crow eliminated, and there goes the win to Zero Fox Given in this team fight here. They lost a lot, but hey, we are still alive, baby.
Hey, listen, we're talking top 8 range. Every placement point matters now. That nade finish at the end on a Crow was so crucial because you can never allow a squad to get away with thirsting a player in front of you. As long as you're able to get that knock, that elimination under your belt, you're the team that makes it out. That's what matters most. And yeah, Zero Fox Given, they've lost 2 players, but them having 9 kills right now, if they could maybe just separate themselves, weather the storm, and really maybe disengage from this fight, they could move forward later in the match. But seems like Most Wanted, the other team that's hot, they're moving in for blood.
They're moving in. I don't know if you're disengaging this one, man. You got to win the skirmish. This is a 4v2 right now. Rob's going to be jumping through. He's holding on the player. In down, locked down here in this warehouse. Leaving just one more Zero Fox member alive on the run. Eliminated. But guess what? 9 eliminations going to Zero Fox Given their best game yet all night. And that's what I was talking about. Have this last match of the day be your best one, and you're gonna be setting yourself up for success tomorrow, baby.
Yeah, now the rest of these squads are trying to battle it out for the few little points that remain from placements or the eliminations. Because when you and I looked at that map earlier, Dave, it was not looking pretty. Everyone was on the same side of the zone. No one was filling space, which means everyone is wanting to end the night strong with a few elims under their belt. Obviously, Most Wanted, I believe, at 6, if not 8 eliminations.
8, baby.
Already.
8.
So they themselves having a game to really maybe potentially shoot up towards that top side of the leaderboard. I believe they're around that middle point, not having a win really under their belt.
That's a treat.
Hey, that wasn't there when I played yesterday. Okay.
That wasn't there. New update. Hold up. This is a new map.
This is the new everything.
Liquid. We've seen some glimmers of light from this squad here. Nice 3 point. Trying to avoid being just that, a 3 point here. We are down to just 4 more teams here.
Wow.
For game number 5. This zone has been so difficult for pretty much everybody in the lobby. Not really favoring anybody, completely just yoinking opposite direction where all of our players have been holding down. So Liquid trying to get the pickup on their squad mate. They should be able to, but does look like X-Force. They're going to be surrounding this warehouse here, and they're pulling up in their vehicles, and they're pulling up strong.
Yeah, X-Force, they allowed the reset to happen earlier. They cannot allow it to happen again. But if you get naded on the pull-up when another teammate being 1 HP, that's not what you're wanting to experience. And Alim, he's got the off angle in the back, but if you never have to peek, he's completely useless. X-Force, they had the opening initiations, the opening knocks, Dave, and Liquid Vincier just being able to piece apart their plan on Rondo.
And then there were 3, and look at this. You were talking to me game 1, game 2. You're like, yo, Dave, what happened to Zombie Boys? I said, listen, Enigma, it's all according to plan, all right? We like to lay it low. We like to be underneath the radar and just show up in the late game. And last game, they did just that. They got that 2nd place. Here we are, once again, 3 teams remaining, and guess what? Zombie Boys still alive, but guess what? This time, not with the solo, but the whole squad alive. Zombie Boys, this is their game to win.
Yeah, if they win this, I mean, the points that they would accumulate would be tremendous. And for the most part, we can't forget, guys, we're talking 5K on the line. First place, you're walking away with a good chunk of change in your pocket. And yeah, this is only day 1. We've got 5 more matches tomorrow, but every game counts, because after this, we're already 50% of the way done. These teams need to understand that every point matters. You need to be looking for it yourself if you want to get as much money as possible as a team. Because, yeah, we love seeing Rondo. I want to see all the experience that Everyone likes a chunk of change if you're
Holy, talking about getting a chunk of change. Rob's getting a chunk. Oh, that dude right there with the MG3. Oh, the squad white. Oh, finding out the hard way. Hey, we don't want to pull up over here. TLDR, this is not right now. Liquid, though, 13 eliminations so far. So they're definitely on one here in game number 5, but they will be most certainly losing one of their squad mates there.
Yeah, and it looks like a bit of a vehicle run over trades going on. This hillside's really going to be the focal point. Tensa having to kind of weather the storm, but Lang's just going to be healing in the open to him. The boulder, there's many like it, but this one's not. Tensa's. I thought he was going to dodge on the nade, but perfectly placed, perfectly timed. Liquid Vincier making this a battle of the ages on the hillside. And now you're wondering about the zombie boys. I thought they were going to sit free. No, that's them in the distance, Dave.
Let's go. Zombie boys trying to get some eliminations. They got 6 so far, but Liquid have 17. Holy cow, 17. And they only lost one of their squad mates here. They're just warmed up, greased up, ready to go here. The Bentley is going to be blowing up. Getting some cover right here on the edge here. So we are ahead of schedule. A lot of terrain to still work with here, though, Enigma. A lot of room to really maneuver. So honestly, both teams can really just kind of pump the brakes just a little bit. We're only in stage 4, so they can pump the brakes, really plan this one out. There's no need to. Hey, there's the horse. That's Pizza
There
Steve.
we go. We
Imagine Pizza Steve winning this game from a horseback.
Oh yeah. That'd make my day.
That's like you ×2 the points, right? Double points right there.
Clint, LLC.
Double points. Double points. We make the calls.
Yeah, we'll get it cooking. Thankfully, though, these teams, Dave, they're taking the initiative right now. They're not going to play around for the late game terrain. They're saying, let's take the straight up 3v4 fight. And if you're Liquid Vincier, 17 elims, you're feeling yourself in any engagement, right? You're wanting it. And for the most part, they're swinging edges. Walls are not safe for any of the zombie boys. Fetty going to be the first one taking all the action. The JS9 is in his hand, but can he dodge the nade? He will. The engagements are coming down to these 1v1s, Dave, and it's all about who wins them.
Ah, there goes one of the zombie boys. Zombie boys kind of just taking this skirmish one by one, not really on the same page. Pizza Steve out here trying to toss some grenades onto Liquid. But like you said, Liquid's momentum right now, it's going to be hard to stop. But they have 18 eliminations, right? So, I mean, they're a truck and they're hitting hard right now. So, I don't know. Fetty up there. Out of position, questionable play right there. Now it's going to be a 3v3.
Well, the scary thing, Dave, is every elimination that Liquid Vincier gets here, it's going to be adding to the tally of the record elims for Rondo. We're talking, I think it was 13, if not 14 as the total elim count. Make that 19 for LV, right? They are on the come up, and this is definitely, if they're able to clean up the rest of it, they could get 20, if not 21 elims for a Rondo record.
21. Imagine that. Setting the Rondo record, like you said. They might just do that here, Clint. Sure. Enigma.
Yeah.
Clint.
We got it on it.
Clint.
LOC.
Just put the Liquid winner chicken dinner graphic up right now, because zombie boys, they're falling apart, man.
Listen, they got the point. You were happy about it. They said, okay, we're gonna.
I'm happy.
We'll let Liquid Vincier have the rest of the glory.
Honestly, setting records out here, man.
And on day one.
Day one.
And that means tomorrow we could potentially have more of a record. Day one, you hold it for 24 hours, and then the next day someone breaks it.
Zombie boys are kind of just waiting in a tomb right now. They got their back against the wall. They already know what's happening. They hear the footsteps. They're quickly getting surrounded right here. It's going to be a tough battle for them to come out on top. There goes one of the zombie boys eliminated. And there we go. Liquid with a massive 21 elimination Rondo Royale winner chicken dinner, setting the record here for esports here, Enigma.
Yeah, and I mean, for the squad, it wasn't someone we were really talking about too much, other
Not
than
at
maybe
all.
just 1 or 2 squad engagements throughout each of the matches. Obviously, when it came to Dauntless or Inko, even Coops, we saw them having a lot of late game fights, but Liquid Vincier showing up. They made me eat my words about everything I just said, saying, hey, we're able to win one of these Rondo matches. We could pull up the winner chicken dinner stats, almost 3,000 damage, 2,800 total, Dave. And for the survival time, yeah, it looks low, but those elimination counts, they speak for themselves.
Yeah, I believe Go Lang had 9 eliminations there, right? And then followed by their squad mates with 6 and 6. So quite the match. Quite the match from our squad of Liquid out here. Setting the record, like you said, 21 eliminations, I believe. Right behind them, we had, 13 elimination win here tonight. So definitely not 21.
Yeah, 21. I mean, for the most part, it's always about how these teams are able to really kind of prevent a squad like Liquid Vincier popping off. Let's pull up that sort of match results to see how these other squads were able to kind of fare themselves in this final match of Rondo, because if I'm seeing a team drop 21 eliminations, right, Dave?
Yeah,
I'm expecting them to be maybe
at the
top 2, top 3,
top 3.
Not winning it, because if you fight so
I'm looking at
much
winning
like
it.
that, really?
They're winning it. I mean, not
Really?
tomorrow, but today.
Like,
I think at the end of today. So this is the match rankings. Okay, I'm getting
Okay.
ahead of myself here. But Zombie Boys, another solid performance, back-to-back games, second place. That's success. That's what success looks like, in my opinion. You start the night 0 points, and then you come in here, back-to-back games, solid, consistent points. That's all you need here. That's all you need. So let's check out the overall. I'm thinking Liquid gonna be at the top. Ooh, so close here, Enigma.
Yeah, they were just short. Unfortunately, Coops and friends, it wasn't 1 but 2 wins they had on the day, and we were talking about them with the elimination counts on every other match they were in tonight. So 5 total matches. We see all 5 wins being on this left side, the top 8 of the board, but it really is just, man, these first and second place spots, they're so close, and with a gap between them from the rest of the competition.
Yeah, and not a good one either, right? We're looking at Zero Fox given 22 points. First place is 69 points, but Angels Esports all the way down there with only 5. So a lot of catching up to do tomorrow, pretty much for the second half of the right side of the overall leaderboards here. Definitely saw some glimmers of hope from a couple of those teams on that right side, so it is definitely not over yet. We're only halfway done with the Rondo Royale here, Enigma. Final thoughts for the evening here to close out day number 1.
Final thoughts, the terrain usage, the pyramids, that's what we love to see. Unfortunately, though, I'm wanting to see tomorrow the stun gun coming into play. There's got to be one elimination where we see it come out and they melee him or they BM him in some way, Dave. It can't be a night without Rondo Royale if there's no stun gun coming into play.
It is what it is. Couldn't have said it any better than that here, Enigma. So Rondo Royale, day number 1 in the books. Ladies and gentlemen, same time, same place tomorrow. 5 more games, $5,000 on the line. See you tomorrow for more